Where are we up to?
Raiders!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Manic Miners and to...
Raiders!
It's nice to have somebody here to contribute to the commentary.
Right, Rock Raider. Things are really hotting up now. Rock Raider HQ has been devastated by earthquakes, landslides, and cave-ins, and our fresh air supply has been used up. We must rebuild the base and get the support station functioning. Once we have the base up and running again, we must reinforce the area and resume the mining operation. You must then collect 40 energy crystals.
Interesting. Well, if I were a betting man, and somebody were to lay me odds of a nice relaxing evening playing a bit of Manic Miners, or a very stressful evening playing a bit of Manic Miners, I'd put my money on the latter. I notice here in the briefing it mentions floods. Be careful around the water. Ice monsters can use water to approach your base. Well, isn't that just plainly rude of them? What? What? What in the world? Okay, well, this is different than I expected. This is very different from than I expected. Why is there a lump here? Is that a geological formation, or are you happy to see me? Now, what the hell is going on here? Can I... Wait, hang on, they're going to beam down there and they're going to stand in the water. Okay. I'm confused. Okay. Oh, bollocks. Let's just get on with it and see what happens, for crying out loud. Oh, they're going to stand there. Well, that's good of them. How am I going to access that? I'm not, is the short and the long of it. Alright. Okay. Oh, you're going to mend something. How can you? I've barely even bloody started! Alright, who hasn't got a gun? You ain't got a gun. Get a gun! Oh, bloody hell. This is not what you might describe as a tremendulent beginning. But never mind. Oh! From where? Oh, from all the way up there. Well, he can wait his turn for 5 bloody minutes, I should think. Oh, for goodness sake, at least that's upgraded, as is that, but I'm going to have to build a new teleport pad, aren't I? Damn it. I don't think you ever got a gun, did you? No, you didn't. Right, we are in a little bit of a jam. Right, I'm going to turn all of that off, and then I'm going to set some monster murder to happen. These monsters are going to spawn often, aren't they? And that's going to be a bit of a pickle for me. But never mind. Let's set a couple of those things to reinforce. We need to build a new teleport pad, first and foremost. That'll go... Somebody didn't see that. And it was me. Right, shall we pay slightly more attention to what we're doing and slightly less to yapping? Honestly, when people say they turn the audio messages off, how under the sun... I could understand if you just wanted to turn like the a landslide has occurred off, but come on. How could you cope without the others? Maybe because you play the game properly and you pay attention and you know what you're doing. I wish I could say the same. Oh, bloody hell. Well, look on the bright side. I'll have made my money back at the betting shop, haven't I? Well, we needed that crystal. Oh my goodness, this is different than I expected. We're going to need a docks as well, which I might pop there. At least these resources can go into there, which is good. Alright, we need to construct the support station, which is going to involve finding some more crystals, which we're lacking on at the moment. Oh, for goodness. Come over here, come over here, come over here. Or just stand there and wait patiently for the monster to arrive at your doorstep. Whatever floats your boat. Right, let's get another bit of ore, and then we can upgrade this, and then we can go to crystal. That's 2. We need more. That's another one. Marvellous. Okay, so I think that's enough to build it, but not enough to power the bloody thing. Sorry, I need to upgrade this. I can't think at the moment. And then I reckon... put it there. No, I reckon there's probably the best place. It's pretty close to that. Maybe putting it over here would be better. I can always put the dock somewhere else. Yes, I think that might be a wiser idea. I'm going to put it there. Because everything in this direction, for the most part, with the exception of that, is reinforced. So I think this is a slightly safe place to put it, and they don't have to walk quite so far. So once we've done this, I want to set up a bit of fence. Mining laser could be useful, actually, because I'd knock that piece out. Yes. And then I think building a docks and getting a rapid rider would be a good idea, because we need to get into the sea and access things like that, and then beam this up and bring its resources back. That's interesting. That's an interesting way of doing it, because normally the start of Air Raiders wasn't too difficult because you just reconnected the power, and the monsters didn't spawn quite so quickly. From where? From all the way up there. Well, that's hardly going to do him any good, because I'm going to shoot him in the face multiple times, because that's the punishment for being an ice cream card. At least I assume they're made out of ice cream. Any crystals? Any? What? No? Okay, fine. I guess we're going to have to do this with the use of hard rock then. Right, let's bring all of our troops around the... Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, for crying out loud. No, 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 no. Stay here, stay here, stay here and kill that one. Stay here and kill that one! I forgot you can do this. Thank you very much to the person who told me you can do that, because my goodness gracious, is that a vitally important piece of information for people to know. I don't know where he's going. He's going to die. That's what he's going to do. Okay, well, look on the bright side. We weathered that crisis, didn't we? Not tremendously well, but we weathered it. Okay, we need to find another crystal, and we need to find it quite quickly. If we break this down, we'll have another pathway to get through here, which should speed them up a little bit if they need to get over there. So I'm going to set another couple of walls to blow up while Jet sorts that piece out. And then once this is cleared, I'm going to set up a set of electric fence. I might see if I can work my way around the back of here in order to... Is this all solid rock? It is. Well, never mind. We found the crystal that we need to build this, and then we just need to find one more to power it. And then the oxygen situation has been alleviated. We can get some more men, and then we'll have a few more soldiers on the ground. Excellent. Good work, Sparks. Okay, let's get rid of this wall because it's a pain in the arse. Although actually, if we just get rid of that, it'll make it a triangle corner piece thing, and then they won't be able to spawn. And then, oh my goodness, I've been flattened by a support station. I've never seen that happen before. It's adorable. Right, okay, let's bring some more troops down. 5 of them, I think. Right. Goodness gracious, what a beginning. What a beginning! Okay. Let's set up some fence and try to get ourselves vaguely well defended. I think a little bit of a something like that. From where? From where? From there? Well, that's not going to do him any good because he's going to die in the fence. And that will make me a very happy man. So I'm going to put a piece there, otherwise the lack of symmetry will annoy me. I will watch your death with glee! This is my glee face, apparently. Right. Okay. Panic over. At least for the moment. I think we are vaguely in one piece. I can't blow that up without doing serious damage to that. I haven't thought tremendously far ahead. Never mind. It's not the end of the world. It's just the end of my sanity. We need a docks. And I want a piece of power path there because the lack of power path there is irritating me. Okay. Crystals? Hooray! Well, crystal, singular, not plural, but never mind. You can't have everything in life. What's behind here? I know I could just hover over and find out, but I'm interested. Nothing. Well, you might as well blow it up then, just in case. Just in case there's anything of interest. Okay. Because once we get the docks, we will be able to get a rapid rider, and then that'll be able to cart these resources home. And if we can get enough ore, we'll upgrade it, put a drill on the front, we can get those crystals, and then I'm going to send some troops out in a minute to try and alleviate that situation a little bit. Once we're rid of him, I want to reinforce as much as we can access along here, so that, I mean, monsters will still spawn, but they'll spawn from over there, which will at least be further away, and it will give me more time to prepare. Oh, you don't need a crystal for the docks? Oh, I thought you needed a crystal for the docks. You don't. That's very kind. That's very generous. Right. I wish, once more, to have glee in my life. Well, never mind him. The law of diminishing returns says that I am no longer made gleeful by their demise. I've only got one crystal that's spare, and I need 2. Right, where are we going to find them? Okay, all of our men seem to be pretty much unbusy at the moment, if that's a word I can coin. So let's send them off to reinforce everything. And actually, you know what I should also do? I should send people who don't have guns to get guns. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Okay, if it's just one, I'm not worried because he'll die in the fence. Oh, blimey, that was a lot of damage people just took. And, yeah, he's just going to upset everything, isn't he? Well, die then. I've forgotten how much faster they walk on the rubble. Okay, now they can all walk off and do a different piece of wall than they were doing before. From far away? No, not from far away. From there. Well, bollocks. Well, what the hell am I gonna... He's gonna destroy that, isn't he? And then he's gonna eat all of the crystals, and there's no way in hell that anybody's gonna be able to stop him. Because they're not... Because I really should have got a bloody mining laser. Oh my goodness, he's gonna eat the crystals, isn't he? Okay. I really, really hope...
Certainly.
I really, really hope... Yeah, come over here. You eat the crystals, and then come and stand over here. No, don't go home, don't go home, don't go home, don't go home. Kill him! No! Kill him! I was really hoping he wouldn't be satisfied after 3. I was really hoping he wouldn't be satisfied after 3. I was really hoping he'd have more of a bloodlust to destroy my buildings, because then he would have come over here and I've had a chance to shoot him up the arse. But it didn't quite pan out that way. But never you mind. Plenty more crystals in the sea. Right. Never you mind any of that. Never mind my breaking voice either.
Ahoy, matey, as you wish.
Oh, for goodness sake, what the hell am I going to do with myself? And that's going to consume another crystal that I don't have for my rapid rider. Mind you, half I wanted my bloody rapid rider was to pick up those crystals that are currently being digested by the stomach of that beast. Excuse me a moment, the cat wishes to come in. Get in here, little monster. Don't stare at me, just... Oh, that's the dynamite going off. I thought another monster was born. Would you get in here already? It's cold out there and you're letting all the warm air out. Oh, so many monsters in my life. Some of them furry and some of them frosty. Right, what's next on the agenda of mayhem? Oh, goodness sake. Oh, from where? from all the way over there. Well, unfortunately, I can't quite shoot him in the face from here, which is a shame because that would be rather cathartic. Also, from somewhere I can't really kill him. I'd better turn that on, actually, because knowing my luck, there'll be crystals under there, and we'll all get screwed. Oh. It still annoys me that if they don't have a direct pathway... If they don't have a direct pathway to the monster, they will just stand wherever they are, which I totally understand from the perspective of the game design, but it does get on my nerves. It does get on my nerves because it would be so much better if they just didn't do that and they actually wandered over here so that they were close to the position of where the monster will be when the monster is accessible. But never mind, it doesn't matter. You know, a smart guy would have powered that fence so that it was actually bloody useful. Not this guy, because I ain't smart. No, a smart guy would have actually relocated his entire base probably somewhere in here and then had a little bit of fence along there and then another bit of fence along here so that it didn't have this very vulnerable arse, might I put it as such, of his base. But never mind. There were big caverns behind here and here in the original formation of the mission. Is that still the case? Not here. Okay, so there's nothing behind here, or at least nothing immediately accessible, so we can blow this up with impunity. Good. I like blowing things up with impunity. Why in the world will nobody clear this bit of rubble? I know it's got a don't clear sign on it, but I specifically told you to clear it, which means that's overridden it, and I don't know how to get rid of them anyway. Honestly, you can't get the you can't get the staff these days. Yes, good. I can see there's only one person around here who's going to do things properly, and it's me. Right, that muppet again. If I got some dynamite, I could break my way through here, which would make my life a lot easier. So I'm going to let them do that, and I want you to get a gun as well, because everybody needs to be prepared for this. Does everyone has a gun? We've only got 9 people? Why do we only have 9 people? Oh yeah, we don't have my ghost. There's Ghost. There's Ghostly Chap. Hello, Ghostly Chap. You need a gun. Not sure a ghost would really have much use of a gun, but we're going to assume that this one can make thorough use of a gun. We don't have enough for a... Hang on. We've got enough for a rapid rider. Now where's Bandit gone? Ah, Bandit's busy blowing things up. Well, good for him. Good for him. You put it in a sensible place as well, which frankly shocks me. Jet, come here. That's not for you. That's for Bandit. You get the aircraft, and he, on the extremely rare occasion we have one, gets in a boat. I'm sorry, Jet. That's just the way things go. Right, there is a cavern behind here, so I'm slightly frightened of going through there, but we could blow this up. We could do that. We'll lose this fence, but I can always bring that back. Okay. We can't have these crystals, because I was a muppet, and I said, gee, it would be really useful if we had a mining laser. That would protect me from all angles, and then I completely shocked myself by observing that not being damaged, apart from the fact that there was dynamite that went off right next to it, which frankly is incredible. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we've got the ore for it, might as well do that as well. No, I don't want to send the power station to mine a bit of solid rock. I want to send the rapid rider to mine a bit of energy crystal seed. That's what I want. Now, where's the crystal? We need to get it out of here as quickly as possible before he arrives. Oh. Okay. It's not great because there's a lot of spaces where people can do that, but we'll deal with all of that in just a wee minute. For the time being, let us observe and enjoy some death. Oh, it makes me feel so much better. Right, Thank you. Are there any more? No, there aren't. Marvellous. Okay. I'm going to send people out to make sure that all of these walls are completely hammered. And not in the intoxicated sense. Right, let's send him over to get those crystals. Those will be very useful. Then I want to add some fence here to make this better defended. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Bandit over here to reinforce that bit and these bits to make sure that they are not vulnerable to monsters coming after things. So I'm not really sure where that crystal came from. Not really sure at all, because I think the seam was there. If the seam had been there and it had knocked down that bit, that would make sense, but then... Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We've got the crystals out of the way. Everything that we can reach has been reinforced, which is good. The Rapid Rider could boing over that, but it can't reinforce these. It could drill them out, though, which is a thought and a half. Okay, we've got as much of that reinforced as we can. That's all good. What I'm going to do now is bring the Rapid Rider over here to reinforce this, and probably realise the Bandit doesn't have a hammer, but never you mind any of that rubbish. Do you have a hammer? Yes, you do. Thank goodness. Okay. Once we've done this, the world will be a slightly safer place, and we can worry about the next thing on our list. Okay, there's one there, which these guys will be able to get rid of, and then we might be able to not worry about the other one if he's just going to walk into the fence. Let's give him a chance and see what happens. No, he's going to go a different way. I don't really know where he's going or why he's going there or what he intends to do with himself, but I do know that it's going to involve a lot of violence. Whether that is perpetrated by him or by me, I don't really know, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Bandit, you're a right slowpoke. Get on with it. Okay, I know I'm going a bit slowly, but frankly, after the disastrous beginning, I need to do this slowly. Otherwise, I'm going to have some form of an attack. So, let's just take this one step at a time. Come over here and reinforce these. There's nothing over there, is there? No. And there's nothing else along here that we need to worry about. No, there isn't. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. I can live with all of that, which you come back over here. You... jiggly gigolo. Right. Reinforce those. And then we should be safe from the south. The trouble is going to be... Oh, do you think that monster was going to walk around here and then walk over the water to access my base? Do you think that's what he was planning to do? Well, that's alright, because we've got this here, which could shoot people if they were attacking from that angle, but it's a little concerning.
Water never changes.
No, it doesn't. And that's good, because it's quite necessary for sustaining pretty much all life in the universe, now that I think about it. Okay, I don't think we need Bandit for anything at the moment in the Rapid Rider, so you can get out and have a sandwich. And then we can have a think about dealing with this situation, which is just getting on my nerves a little bit. So, once this monster's dead, I reckon we'll be in a better situation to move on with life. So what I'm going to do is get a little truck and pop somebody in the little truck. Not you, Bandit, not you. Put me in the little truck. I think I've earned to sit down. Oh bloody hell! Well, that's that one, and they'll deal with. No, they won't. They'll all run off in the wrong direction. They'll all run off in the wrong direction and do the wrong thing, because of course they will. I love that even with the more advanced pathfinding these guys have, they're still really annoying. Okay, let's blow that up for no particularly good reason. Okay, how are we going to solve this? We're not, is the long and the short of it. Okay, we need an upgrade station. That much seems clear. I'm going to build in this direction because I am sick of the monsters coming over there. I guess I could rebuild the docks. Maybe I should just rebuild my base over here. Maybe that would be a sensible thing to do. I think I'm going to pop the docks there. And then I'm going to build a new power station, probably about there for no particularly good reason, just because I can. I won't beam that up because I want to save the upgrades that I've put into it as much as it doesn't look to be a terribly rare resource here. I wanted to build another mining laser as well. I reckon that can maybe go somewhere. I don't really know. Ideally, I want to get everything away from the coast. No, you know what? For once in my life, I'm actually going to do this properly. I know you're shocked to hear that, but no, I'm actually going to try and do this properly for once in my life. The docks is going to go there, and that's going to get upgraded. We're going to need a teleport pad and a new support station, which I'm going to pop over here. We've got the upgrade station as well, so I'm just going to set this to get upgraded fully. I'll set it to get repaired as well. I just want to get my base away from the coastline because it's not safe and it's very irritating having the monsters walking over the water to try and access base camp, so I don't like that. Okay, new teleport pad, let's get rid of that please. And then we'll build the new support station, we'll pop that there. Is the tool store being there on the coast going to be a pain in my butt? Probably not, because I can still cover the rest of the perimeter with fence, so I think that will be fine. So I'll pop that there. We can get rid of this, and we can get rid of this, and we can get rid of this, and we can get rid of this, because I'm going to rebuild it somewhere else in a minute. I think I'm going to pop it maybe they're still going to be able to access the docks, because of course they'll be able to, because it must be oh good, we've already got it. Good! I thought I'd accidentally broken everything, but we haven't. It's all going to be fine. Okay, we need to get that mining laser up and running again, because we need to shoot that monster before he can kill us all. And the fence isn't working, I've just realised. Oh, goody! I was so worried I was doing this properly. Right, let me get rid of that. I guess actually, in a way, it's kind of good that he's changed his mind now, but that's alright, that's not the end of the world. Die, you beast! There we go. Right, now we can get rid of this, and bring those resources back, and I have to figure out some way of making an impenetrable perimeter, is what I'm trying to say, and failing quite miserably to enunciate. Right, you can die in the face, can't you? There we go, lovely stuff. Yeah, because they just go straight for the dogs, in this case probably the rapid rider as well, so that's fine. Right, let me just get rid of these bits because they're annoying me. Okay, all of this has been powered. I guess they could come around the long way here, couldn't they? So let's make another perimeter along there. Okay, so that is a better base. It's messy, it's real messy, but it's better for being defended. So that's all marvellous. And we're half an hour in this, and we've barely frickin' begun. Oh, good. And I haven't left myself any space to build a super teleport pad, but never mind. Never mind, we'll come back to that problem in a minute. In the meantime, I want to mine out a few bits and begin to kid myself that we're making progress. See, the problem is not that. The problem isn't really that the monsters are there, it's that I don't want them to... Where are you going? Oh, of course you're... Oh, so that hasn't solved the problem at all, because they're still just going to go after the dogs, aren't they? Great, so this whole endeavour of rebuilding the base was an utter waste of everyone's time, because it hasn't actually stopped the monsters. It hasn't actually stopped the monsters from going that way round in an irritating manner. They're just going to continue to do that. Because of course they are. Good. Good. I was worried for a minute then that 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 might not happen. Could you get that crystal, please, into blazes with whoever else wants to get it? Thank you very much. Okay, any more crystals? No? Okay, let's get these bits reinforced and just figure out where we're at the moment. Okay. We need to get rid of these bits here, which is going to involve quite a bit of dynamite. Because I can't really be bothered at this moment to bring down any heavy machinery, because we don't really have enough crystals for it. Let's get these bits cleared out. Okay. It looks like there's all solid rock behind here, so at least that won't expose any more monster spawn points. Yes. Then we'll cast some dynamite along here, that will get us past this little lake, and we'll lose all of these spawn points here, so then we'll only have to worry about the stuff that's further up the river, so I can live with all of that. Let's get some more stuff reinforced. Every wall we reinforce, if I get my vowels in the right order, is another monster spawn point we remove from the battle. Okay, let's get rid of those bits. Bring you over here to get this crystal, and actually we should drill that out, not because it's a spawn point, but because, no, never mind, I don't want you to do that. I want you to wait a minute, just for him to get across the water. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, he'll go for the crystal, but that's alright. That's quite alright. He's welcome to try, and he's welcome to die. How do I keep missing these monster spawn notifications? I really don't know. I must be going deaf. Right, let's murder this man. Either that or just fix his eyesight, one or the other. Okay, that's that situation sorted out. What the hell am I going to do with this? The answer to that is just drill these frickin' walls out. I guess because the dynamite's so slow, we should kind of bring it over here sooner rather than later. When these guys have finished clearing their respective bits of rubble, I'm going to bring them over. No, let somebody else do that. Let somebody else do that. I don't want you getting slowed down with your arthritic knees. Just bring these men over here. So all of you, leave that for the truck to do. Leave that for the truck to do. I want everyone over here getting rid of these bits of wall, because they're just getting on my nerves, and I don't like that. Well, that was fast. Right, you get that reinforced. No crystals, that's fine, I can live with that. Okay, there we are. That's got rid of that spawn point. I'm sure they'll just spawn out of there, but that's a problem for a different day. For right now, I think we've got rid of the worst of it. Okay, we've got a few more crystals now, so I can probably afford to start thinking about a super teleport pad. So I'm going to push this line of fence back a little bit, which is going to involve making a super teleport pad, which I will plonk there for no particularly good reason. Is there any other building I could possibly need? I don't think so. No, which means I'd be safe to put a line of fence there. Okay. There's something intrinsically annoying about that lot. There's something intrinsically unpleasing, displeasing, even if I can get my words in the correct arrangement, about all these little aerial pieces sticking up into the ceiling. But never mind. Never mind. We're getting to a point in this campaign where I have to start acknowledging that I must leave little niceties such as aesthetics behind for the sake of strategy and, to put it more bluntly, not dying. Right. If you would be so kind to die, thank you very much. I appreciate your sacrifice for the greater good. And by greater good, I mean my good. We can upgrade this and we can start having a think about some proper machinery. I feel like I don't have any choice but to get a large mobile laser cutter because it can defend itself.
Ready for orders.
As opposed to...
Now we're getting somewhere.
Indeed. As much as I'd like a granite grinder for its ability to hop over perhaps some little bits of water, and for the fact that we don't get to use it as often these days as I'd like, I feel it necessary to be able to defend whatever crystals we uncover from monsters that will inevitably spawn. Plus, I suppose this will be able to shoot things that are over water as well, so that can only be helpful. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm going to work my way Somebody's sat-nav's broken. I'm going to work my way through this bit of hard rock and this bit of hard rock. Then we'll get all of this reinforced. And then I don't know what the hell we're going to do with that. I don't know what the hell we're going to do with that. But all I do know is that I'm going to use this large mobile laser cutter to shoot this monster in the face the moment that I get an opportunity to. In fact, I'm going to go into third person to do just that. Right. Good afternoon, sir. Would you like to die? No? Well, too bad. It's happening anyway. Deal with it. Not entirely sure why the world is shaking so much, but never mind. I think it was getting a bit confused about why I was so close to the water, but never mind. Maybe Docs was just rocking out to some funky tunes. I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. The monster's dead, and that brings joy to the lump of coal that is my soul. Okay, I can worry about all of that. Let's get these bits reinforced as well. I don't think we've actually seen any monsters spawning out of them, but frankly, I don't care. If there's any possibility a monster could spawn out of it, that possibility is too great. It is in my book, anyway. Okay. What have we got on the radar? Not very much. We can't see very far at the moment. It does look like it carries on a little ways behind there. From where? From there. Well, that's less than excellent, isn't it? He's already got hold of somebody, even though he's only halfway out of the rock face. That's impressively dickish. Bloody hell. These more difficult levels are really bringing out my swearier side, and for that I apologise. I normally only speak like a sailor when I'm driving, but maybe bandits being a bad influence on me. I don't really know. Okay, let's knock this down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him dump his cargo of ore, and then come here after the crystals. I don't want you going after crystals. Leave that for the truck, please. There we go. That's much, much more efficient. I know you have good intentions, and I'm grateful for them, but please stop it. There we go. Look, there's more crystals for you now. You lot can all have a go at some of these if you like. I'll just stand here and be a sentry for a while. No, you won't. I'll just stand here for a century instead, I suppose. Oh dear, I get so tired playing this game. I get tired doing everything in life, but I get tired especially playing this game. Okay, that's that done. I might send the large mobile laser cutter over here to clear out that stuff, given that these crystals will come... I said these crystals will come home in the back of the truck, thank you, and then we won't have to worry about any of that. Yes. I think I'm also going to do is get Bandit in the Rapid Rider again, so that we can hop over here and knock through that wall, because I want to have a look at what is on the far side, which I reckon will be another cavern which will connect into here, but I want to see it all the same. I also want to run a little test and find out, which I'll run in a little while when Bandit actually arrives. I want to run a little test and see if I ask Bandit to go and drill that wall, if he will do so, because he has to jump over... No, he can't. Okay, so his pathfinding doesn't include for him to jump over little bits of land. Okay, well that's fine. That's fair enough. That's fine. Okay, you go boing. Boing. Oh, that's quite a nice image. There's nothing really to worry about, but I just don't like that guy, really. I know it's wrong to judge people by only watching them walk down the street, but I don't like that man and I want him to die. Right, there we are. Marvellous! This has brought joy into my life. Okay, let's knock down these bits of wall here, and then we'll have a look at what we've got over here. You know what we haven't seen for a while? I don't want to jinx it, but what we haven't seen for a while is a great big blooming monster. like one of the genuinely enormous ones.
A monster has appeared.
Not complaining. Okay. Well, that justifies my strategy of having Bandit reinforce these bits and bobs.
Heyo.
So I'm going to send him over to the other island, and then I'm going to use this to shoot this man in the face.
Ice monster. Ice
Because he's very annoying. In this very cold winter that we've had, we don't need any more frosty fellows. We don't need any of them at all. Right, if we reinforce that, no, do not worry about
Consider
that.
it done.
Get... look at that bloody pace. These levels are very intelligently designed. Irritatingly so, one might go so far as to say. Because I can reinforce those bits, but I can't reinforce that bit until I can get the large mobile laser cutter over here to actually shoot those bits of wall down. They've done better with this level than I was expecting. I didn't think there'd be a tremendous amount of scope to expand on this level, because it's, in the nicest possible way, quite a rudimentary one in its original formation.
This calls me back.
There's nothing particularly unique about air raiders, and I say that as, you know, somebody that very much enjoys playing air raiders. Air raiders is one of the missions I tend to go back to when I just want to play a level of the original game. Air raiders is one of the ones I typically go to. But there's nothing, you know, uniquely annoying or frustrating about it in terms of large numbers of monsters or eroding lava or slugs or anything like that in the original level. So, excuse me, have you just become a bit despondent with life? Well, that's fascinating and all, and I'm terribly sorry, but I promise that I'll include some therapy. Oh, of course, you can't go home because you have to drive over the thing, don't you? I forgot about that. You'd still think you'd pick up the crystals, though, even if you can't bring them home. Never mind. Anyway, I'm terribly sorry you're despondent in life. I'll make sure to include some therapy sessions in your health insurance package. I probably should have got rid of that before I did this. I should also have set the radar to track the large mobile laser cutter so that we can see what's going on, but never mind. Let's get rid of these bits of wall, and hopefully that will keep us vaguely safe for a little while. Come on, and I'm shooting two at the same time, but get on with it. Thank you, there we are. Okay, that's good. That is good. Okay, we're not safe from that bit, but I'm going to leave the large mobile laser cutter there just to stand guard. Okay, we're not doing too badly. There's all this stuff over here which obviously needs to be explored, and we'll look at that in a minute, but I reckon we're going to need a tunnel transport before we can have a proper think about that. Do you need repairing? No, you don't. That's good. Okay, can I get you guys to
Yes.
Can I just get you guys to sort of not do the things that you're doing at the moment and to do something else with your days and your lives? Thank you very much. There we go. Right, where's the monster? What's that coming through the ravine? Is it a monster? Yes, it is. And I'm not going to send Jet to try and kill it because she's probably not going to be able to manage that all by herself. So I suppose he's going to swing around here and have a go at the dogs, isn't he? What a cad. You can have a sandwich if nothing else. No, he's not. Oh, is he going after the large mobile laser cutter? Well, if you want the large mobile laser cutter, you only have to ask. Here, you can have its energy cells first, after they've been focused into a laser beam and shot in your arse. Stop chasing sparks. That's just rude. Right, let's go through there, and then I reckon we'll clear out this little bit here. And then we might be able to, yes, we will actually be able to sort of work our way around this bit, and that will get rid of this much at least. There'll still be those bits, but we can deal with those in time. Then we've got to bust our way through there, and then there's that little bit back there at the back end of the map. But we're doing reasonably alright. I would get more trucks, but having the men on the ground means they can defend themselves, which the vehicles, of course, with the exception of the laser ones, can't. So, as much as it means the ore isn't getting brought back home particularly quickly, and there's still lots of rubble that needs to be cleared, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I think half the trouble is I work myself up into a bit of a state before I play this, because I'm always worried about what the remaster campaign is going to do to me. I'm always afraid of what it might pull next, in terms of another scary mission, because I have been quite impressed by what it's done with this one. By adding the sort of the water and the flooding, it's upped the ante quite significantly. Okay, leave that there to defend these crystals, while the truck hopefully comes back and deals with those, apart from all of the ones that other people have decided to get.
Ready
It
to
really
rumble.
does annoy me.
As good as done.
I'll say, if I've said it once, and I will say it again, I'll say it 1,000 times, it would be so good, it would be so lovely if we could just have separate priorities for the trucks and for the men. If you could just tell the trucks, don't worry about the ore, and you could tell the men, don't worry about the crystals, goodness would that make life easier. But anyway, that doesn't matter. It's not important. The AI has to remain annoying. That's what AI is for, isn't it? That's all it seems to have been for in the last few years, anyway. Right. Never mind any of that rubbish. Let's get rid of this hard rock before it drives me any crazier than I have already been driven. And let's actually bring the radar over here so there's some bloody reason for it to be here. There we go. Oh, I said... There we are. I said, there we go. Right. You knock that down. There we go. Good drums, I suppose. Let's... Oh. Bollocks. Is that all those crystals? It would appear to be. That's good. Right, okay. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Right, I'm just going to set people onto action stations because I feel like I need a little bit of backup here. So I'll try and shoot these guys as much as I can, and then these guys can hopefully finish them off. There we go. Shoot them in the back as they retreat. It may not be honourable, but it's bloody effective. Okay, I didn't mean to uncover this as early as I have, but here we are. This is the situation that we're in. I like that they're always just divided by these little tiny land borders here, or land bridges I should say, so that the Rapid Rider can still access them. That's nice. I like that they sort of let you keep your options open, or let you use a multitude of different strategies. I like that. It's cute. I didn't really want you to do that. I wanted you to drive over here. But don't worry. Looks like there might be a pathway running behind there. Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. We are in another bit of a jam because we can't access that area. We might be able to break through there and get into this area. Maybe that would be wise, but I feel like that's just going to have to wait for a moment because I want to see what we've got over here. For no particularly good reason beyond just plain old-fashioned curiosity. Okay, is that a seam at the end of this? Something to reward me for my persistence? As I bash down these bits of wall one at a time. Yes, indeed it is. Oh, good, there's another freaking cavern on the other side. Not one that contains any monsters. I've been grateful there haven't been any sleeping monsters here, as much as I generally say that sleeping monsters are easier to... deal with, than spawning monsters, which is entirely true, but, that's right, you thwack that, because that'll give me another opportunity to kill you. You know, it's nice just not to have to tiptoe my way around them while I pick my moment of murder. Hooray! We did it and everything! Except we're not done yet, because this mission's taken enough from me. I've already lost 3 crystals that I'll never get back. Because they've been taken home by some hard-working monster to feed his family, and frankly, if you ask me, that's just a crime. Again, I didn't really want you to do that, I just wanted you to drive over there. Never mind. Pushed a bit of a shortcut through here for the truck, that's lovely. There's another pathway through here. If we come through here, we'll be able to knock out, yes, this stuff, which, again, it's just a few more spaces where monsters can't spawn. That really is the key at the moment. Just making us as few spawn points as possible. I'm sure that he'll come over here for this crystal. I'm sure that he'll do that. So, why did you spawn all the way over there? That's just inefficient. I suppose he's trying to get his steps in, isn't he? In this modern world of ours, we're all struggling to get our appropriate levels of exercise, even if we're monsters. Right. I do find it interesting that they don't walk any faster over the water, which I presume is the same for the lava monsters, not walking any faster over lava, compared to how they walk over rubble. That would be that would probably be an interesting way to make the ice and the lava monsters more difficult. I mean, in the base game, the lava monsters were more difficult simply because the weapons were much less effective on them. And I can't remember if could they walk over water and lava in the base game? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Some part of the back of my brain. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to remember if at any moment while playing Manic Miners have I been sort of shocked and caught off guard by the fact that the monsters can walk over the water and the lava. Because if I was shocked while playing Manic Miners, that would suggest that it wasn't part of the base game. If I wasn't shocked, then that would flying, floundering, flapping fish. It's a beautiful colour contrast. Wow, that's actually some really cute looking, really cute. Like the ground is what I'm trying to say.
Hey.
The ground. It looks it looks kind of cool. With the lava breaking through the blue ground, that's quite a nice visual effect. From a purely artistic point of view, and I quite like it. They've got a long way to walk. What I might do actually is just have Bandit kind of filter, or ferry is the word I'm trying to find. Okay, because he's like a ferry man, because he like rods, boat and all. I mean, sort of just get these crystals a little bit further away from the lava, even if we're not getting them all the way away. Okay, let's see. That's those 4 sparks. Axel even actually pick. I always get those two muddled up. Okay, he will actually pick it up without needing a sandwich. That's good. And then that's only going to leave 2 behind. Okay, I would have rather sparks. You got one of those ones because they're more vulnerable, but never mind. I know you've got good intentions, Jet, but I'd rather you didn't worry about it, quite frankly. There we go. Okay, am I worried about this? Yes, I am. Is the normal choice, and she needs sandwiches. Of course she does. Everybody needs a sandwich. Right. Well, the conga line of crystals will continue all the way back to base camp, and that's fine. We need to get this area cleared out of crystals as quickly as possible because I don't want that lava to be a bit of a problem. But I will make... Yes, there we are. Just actually, if you're doing that, which is jolly kind of you, you might as well carry on. Okay. That was part of the original level, wasn't it? The tiny sliver of eroding lava. I don't think it was quite there. I think it was a little bit in a different place. Then, you're seeing a lot of crystals that you'd like to eat, aren't you? Yes, you are. Well, it doesn't matter because you're going to die. You're going to die on the way to I would say your last meal, but it's not your last meal because you don't get to eat it because you're a beast. Right, bloody hell, I've missed the bloody one. Right, yeah, you stand here and pummel this because frankly that's a happier situation than the alternative. And then you run away and I'll shoot you in the back. There we go. There we go. Right. I'll leave that behind. I'm not really fussy about that. I just want to kind of slow that down a little bit. while we get these crystals here. Maybe I should get another couple of trucks. Anyway, that is probably the last area where the monsters are going to be spawning out of until we get to the caverns that are all the way back at the other end of the map. So once we get in there, it won't really matter if the monsters are spawning, because we'll be whittling down their spawn points quite vigorously. Okay, hopefully this will lead in here. Yes, good. Hopefully that will slow that lava down just by a couple of minutes. Long enough for us to get these crystals out of here, and long enough for me to get through here. Because the worst part at the moment is just the time. Just the time that we're spending on... oh, excuse me. I had my dinner before this, which, as I've said before, is always a daft plan, but it never stops me. I either have to choose to be hungry during recordings, or choose to be hiccuping during recordings. One or the other. Oh dear. Okay. I was thinking of swinging back to base camp and getting a couple more trucks, just so that these crystals would get collected a little bit faster. Yeah, I wonder if that might be wise. And there's not really anybody here to get in a truck anyway, but we've got the crystals, we might as well bloody use them. If a monster spawns, I'll just swing back up and I will defend against that, but before any of that happens, I just want to get a couple more trucks going, so that these crystals can get out of here a little bit faster, because with the commuting time they're having to do, I really should just set up a... yeah, why don't I set up a tool store here? That would be a sensible plan, wouldn't it? And it will slow the monsters down as well. Is it starting to break through? It's not, actually. Ah. Speak of the devil! Bloody hell. Yeah, just go for it, whatever. Just knock it all down, tarmac it, I don't care. Just get these bits of wall out of here. Get those crystals, get them in the LMS Explorer's hold, and let's get the hell out of this ghastly place. It's a good thing on this peaceful mission of exploration that we went on, we brought a lot of damaging lasers with us. That was very forward-thinking of us. You're not getting anywhere near that crystal, mate. Even in your dying breath, you're not getting near it. Right. Let's pop that tool store there, and then they won't have as far to walk to drop off, or drive, I mean, to drop off resources. That should speed things up a good bit. Oh dear. And it won't matter if the monsters destroy it, because... ooh, a seam of seams, it seems. It won't matter if the monsters destroy it, because of course it won't drop any resources that they can gobble. We've learned I was going to say we've learned our lesson. I don't really think any of you needed to learn that lesson, because you probably all saw it coming 5 miles away and you were probably screaming at me. But I have learned my lesson from the destruction support station. There's that, I suppose. Right, let's get rid of a few more of these bits here. I'll probably leave these seams for the time being, just until we've got rid of a few more spawn points. There we go. There we go. Okay, that I reckon will lead us through here. So we'll just do that now. Oh yes, they're much, much faster with the crystals now. That's marvellous. I like that. I like efficient logistics. They are pleasing to my heart. Yes, this will open up another pathway. I'm not sure it'll be any faster, but goodness knows it would struggle to be any slower. And we can get rid of these bits here. I can see some undiscovered water over here, so there must be another cavern behind here, which is a shame, because frankly, I'm quite tired and was looking forward to the end of this mission, but I don't think we're going to find it any time soon. It looks like, yes, it looks like there's a little pathway that slips through the solid rock behind here. Yes, there we go. And then And then this, I reckon, is all just going to be solid rock, and we'll get those extra seams knocked out as well. Might do that. Might do that sooner rather than later, actually. Oh, blimey. I would send the large mobile laser cutter back for repairs, but frankly, at such a long distance, I'm not sure I can be bothered. It's still in one piece for the time being. This has been a stressful level. This has been a stressful level simply for the fact that there's not a lot I can do when pieces of wall neighbour water. In terms of reinforcing those bits of wall, or destroying those bits of wall to prevent monsters. But I think we've done reasonably alright. Just about. We've got far enough away from the lava that we don't really need to worry about it anymore, and that power path has slowed it down a good bit, which is lovely. Alright. So there's this cavern through here because oh bloody hell. This cave goes on and on and on and on and on and on. I really hope it doesn't go all that way. I don't have time for that. Oh dear. Okay, right. Let's soldier on and see what we find. I really hope it's not a bloody huge monster. Just don't be like, oh, this is pleasant. Don't be like an island in the middle of a lake that's covered in crystals and is surrounded by monsters that are all then going to beeline to the crystals and then eat them and then run away. Don't be that. Don't be that. That would make me sad. It would also make me look like a muppet, which will also make me sad. So don't do that, game. Don't do that. I'm gonna need to bring the rapid rider. I'm gonna have to move these seams, don't I? Damn it all to Hades and a handbasket. Right, it's convenient that you're here, Bandit, because I have got a mission for you. You pizza-eating pirate.
Water never changes.
No, neither does your dialogue. Right. Let's bring him over here. I love how the trucks go off with a half-full hold to collect more resources instead of, going back to base empty. Never mind. Never mind. I don't run a logistics company. It's not my job to make things as efficient as possible, as much as that would bring me happiness. Let's bring him over here to mine out some of these. I didn't actually mean for him to do that one, I meant that one, but never mind. Let's bring this over here. Yeah, sorry, could you do that one instead? I will mine these out, because then he might... Well, he can have that one, if nothing else. Although, again, he's probably not going to pick them up, because I'm going to have to do this very manually for him to... get over the you know what I mean. You know what I mean, and if you don't, then me explaining it wouldn't do any good because I have all of the eloquence of a drunkard in a pub. Is there solid rock behind this? Where even am I? I don't know. There might be solid rock. I just want to get to a point where monsters can't spawn anymore. Actually, it looks like it might be a pathway that goes back to that bit of land there, which would be interesting to see. I don't think that's accessible from this way, so it's only a return trip. Okay. I can live with that. Right. Bandit, could you at least pick the crystals up? Sheesh. Never met anybody so unwilling just to live their lives. Right. If I drive you back and bounce you over, will you do the rest on your own? Hmm? Look me in the eye. Goodness. Lack of pupils. I find your lack of pupils disturbing. Sheesh. I'd forgotten about the old classic Lego minifigure designs back before they had pupils. That was all a long time ago. Although I say that, there's a few channels on YouTube I watch, mostly by these and they call it master model builders or something. The people that sort of work for Lego in their discovery centres and things, and they sort of work. They're sort of building interesting models and introducing Lego to the children that visit the attractions and things. And many of them have quite good YouTube channels where they put up interesting videos about sort of using Lego to make interesting little models and just sort of doing daft things, which frankly is the whole point of living, if you ask me. So sometimes I see people working with all of the latest and the newest Lego bricks, and that always makes me feel old, because I had a fair amount of Lego growing up, but after about 2013, well, since 2013 I haven't had any more. So you know, Lego continues to evolve with the creation of new pieces for designing things, and you know, it's been 13 years, so there's been a lot of advancement since then. A lot of new pieces have come out, and many of them look very interesting, but whenever I watch those videos, it always and I see these new and very interesting pieces, particularly the curved plate pieces. They I don't know, it makes me feel a little bit old, because you know, none of that was there in Lego when I played with it. It was all a lot more simple and rudimentary. And then I see other videos of people like comparing like different models of the same thing that have been created many times in Lego, particularly in say Lego Star Wars, and they'll look at like I don't know, various iterations of the Republic gunship or the X-wing fighter or something like that, and they'll sort of show a model that was around in my time, and they'll say this model is quite primitive based on the pieces they had at the time to design it. This one, and then they'll show a much more modern one, is much more advanced and uses many more clever pieces. I completely agree with you. Oh, Jet, okay, everyone turns up for sandwiches at the right moments. Brilliant. It's like, I completely agree with you, fellow. It's like, it does look much more advanced and interesting, and that's lovely and all, but you know, at the same time, nothing is more precious than nostalgia. So, I don't know. I'm pleased and proud to see that Lego has advanced as much as it has, but I don't know. It makes me feel a little bit old. Anyway, none of that matters, that's just me prattling on. Let's get rid of these bits, and then we can see what we've got over in this corner of the map, which I hope will be interesting, because this seems like the sort of place that A, if you're a muppet like me, you might forget is even here, and B, some people playing this level might not bother coming over here because it's not so readily accessible. So I'm interested to see what there is to be seen. I'm not really sure how we're going to get all this stuff back, because the only machine that's going to be able to access this is going to be the... Don't tell me this is it. Is this it? In the words of the great singer Peggy Lee, is that all there is? I think that's how it went anyway. Is that it? Oh, okay. I'm not complaining, because I'm dog tired, but sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you trying to wall jump? You're an aircraft, not a Super Nintendo character. Anyway, I was expecting something quite... I don't know. Look at all this bloody map you've got. You're not doing anything with it? Okay, I'm not complaining. The easier the level, the fewer brain cells I have to expend trying to... Ah, damn it, we missed a bit. Right, where's the tunnel transport bar? There it is. Okay, I'm gonna have to bring that back. There's not really any point. I'm sure there won't be any crystals in there, but I want them all the same. Is that a recharge sim? I think it is, by the sort of yellowish colour, isn't it? It's not even the only recharge sim, so I don't know why it's that important, but never mind, it doesn't matter. Right, let's bring this home, because I don't want to leave a single stone unturned. There we go. Let's do this more manually. Blimey, you never realise how tall the mining laser is until you're in the third-person view. Must be one of the tallest buildings in the game, actually. Right! You've watched all your friends be lasered and drilled. Now it's your turn. I don't know why I'm anthropomorphizing this rock. There wasn't even a bloody crystal in it. But never mind. It doesn't matter. I think we've just about finished. I don't think we've missed anything else, have we? No. No. No, we haven't. Bastards. I remember somebody writing a comment quite a long time ago saying that they'd like to see the lava in Air Raiders to show that it's possible to have lava in an ice mission. Which, if I remember correctly, the Basmod version didn't have the lava in it. I can't remember if the standard campaign had it or not, but the original base game definitely did. Of that, I am certain. Right, we're about finished, I think. Let me just crane my head around my microphone to actually see the buttons, and we can get the hell out of here.
The odds were against you, but you came through and got all 40 energy crystals. Excellent! Mission complete.
I did my best. I just had a thought. You know how we started with like a completely bollocksed base? Do you think that was somebody else? Do you think it's like some other person that's running missions in the background that we never hear about, who's just rubbish at their job, and then we get called in to sort of save them when everything's been thoroughly ballsed up? I don't know really, but oh, go on then. I was gonna call it quits there, but
Hot stuff!
I'll have my little break, and then we'll do hot stuff. I can't guarantee we'll win, but we'll have a go at it anyway. Since we are getting so very close to the end of all this, we've come a long way, haven't we? Through for the nostalgia. I feel like this would be more nostalgic, but never mind. Yes. Anyway, yeah, we've come a long way, haven't we? Through 25 levels of this, 33 levels of this, I think, somewhere around there. And what is? If anybody knows what this whole walrus thing is, I'm guessing this is some sort of in-joke that I know nothing about. But if anybody understands what this whole walrus thing is all about, I'd like to know, because I don't own any walruses, but I would like to know if in the future I ever do consider making such a purchase, it would be good for me to realise that it's just going to be transferred to the property of somebody else. So if somebody can explain that to me, I'll be mightily grateful. And then obviously we're nearly at the end of Remastered, but it's been a long road, but we're nearly at the end. So I'll have my little break, and then we'll have a go at hot stuff. Now, while I was having my little break, I was thinking about the original version of Hot Stuff and trying to identify the key characteristics which made it difficult. One of them was the slightly troublesome AI for the raiders, which is what this little crystal here, this little picture of a crystal is a reference to, because there was a crystal right at the far end of the cave that they would constantly run off to try and get, which is very understandable, but also very irritating because you didn't want them to go off and do that. You wanted them to stay at base camp and deal with other things. So that's not too much of an issue now. We'll see if the crystal's there or not. I don't think it was there in the Basmod version, but we'll see if it's... maybe it was there in the Basmod version. I don't think it was there in the standard version. Is that what they call the first campaign they played? Yeah, the standard campaign. The other thing that made it difficult was the monsters being a lot stronger and not dying in just one laser beam, as I think the original rock monsters used to do. So that's not too much of an issue now, because the lava monsters don't have more health, unless the game randomly decides to give them more health by these sort of bigger monsters they make. The other issue was not being able to access land that lava had eroded around and into, again, now that we've got things like the tunnel transport and the drill on the front of the tunnel scout, that's not too much of an issue. So most of the things that made hot stuff difficult are not really present anymore. What I think this level is going to come down to in terms of its difficulty, two factors in my mind. One is the erosion rate of the lava. If that's high, then this is going to be very difficult, because I'm going to have to spend an enormous amount of time just keeping the lava at bay, which is going to keep me from doing much else. I think this is going to be one of those levels where I don't have any choice but to make a second support station and bring down another 10 men, just so that we've got boots on the ground for fighting monsters and fighting lava. If we've got the crystals for it, presumably there'll be a reasonable number of crystals, because it'll have a pretty high crystal requirement, I imagine. If Air Raiders was 60, I'm guessing this is going to be at least 70, maybe even 75. The number of monster spawns, and if there are big monsters. So lava and monsters, I think, are going to be the two things that are going to make this difficult. But for some daft reason, I've decided that I don't want to go to bed tonight. I've just decided that this is what we're going to do. Because it would have been perfectly reasonable to end the video there and have done this one next time and that one the time after and this at the end. But no, for some daft reason, I've decided not to do that.
Okay, Rock Raider, this mission is very dangerous, so listen carefully. We have discovered an area rich in energy crystals and ore. We need you to establish the Rock Raider HQ and begin mining. We need to collect 45 energy crystals. Warning, the location is dangerously close to the base of a volcano, so great care must be taken to avoid breaching any lava flows in and around the cavern. Good luck, Rock Raider.
Okay. You haven't even got in the mission and I'm already frightened. Alright, so for the rest of the briefing, if you encounter any lava flows, try to stop them as soon as possible or get to safety immediately. Be on your guard. If the volcano erupts, you should immediately get to a safe area with higher ground for safety and stay there until we can evacuate you. Okay. What do you mean, if the volcano erupts? You know what? Keep it as a surprise. I'd hate for it to be spoiled. Oh, blimey. Okay. I'll be completely honest with you. The reason I'm doing this is because I know that if I don't do it now, I'll just put off doing it, right? Because I'm really excited to see what the remastered campaign does with Back to Basics. As much as I know it's going to be hell, I'm really excited to see what they do with it. So I'm not going to put off that one, but I'm... Okay. This is kinder than I thought. The bats are going to be a pain in my arse, but the bats have always been a pain in my arse. So, oh. Okay. Well, there's a hell of an image for you. If it wasn't so monotone, we could use it as a thumbnail. Right. Okay. Well, what I'm immediately noticing is that I don't have to deal with lava straight away. So I can get my men in, I can build a support station, I can get everybody guns, I can kind of get the baseline sorted out before I have to deal with any lava. I can choose the moment I have to start dealing with lava. So that is a level of kindness I did not anticipate. I'm actually going to get people into to guns immediately. Right, not you, but let's just let the people come down, and then we'll look at... No, we won't. Do you have gun? You have gun. I wish people to have gun. Right, you need a gun as well. But open my big flap and pie hole and say, stop doing that, and say, I'm surprised they're not being fussed about by the bats. But no, they're being fussed about by the bats. I'm just not noticing. Okay. Is there going to be some sort of event? Is there going to be a moment? Like, does the volcano erupt when I discover that cavern and sort of uncover the top of that? I don't know. What does it mean if the volcano erupts? Because Because it wouldn't say that for no reason. It must say that because it's expecting something to happen. Something's going to happen. There's got to be some sort of event that's going to occur. But when, and how, and why, and where, and from whence, and all these other questions we don't have answers to. I don't know, but we will see. These bats are really gonna get on my nerves. They are just black, aren't they? They seem to have a sort of reddish tinge to them, but that might just be the light and the sort of the environment that they're bloody hell, these bats are right. And no, before anybody says anything, there's nothing you can do about the bats. The light doesn't do anything, the sonic blasters don't do anything, the number of forum posts I've read saying you can fight the bats are all wrong. There's nothing you can do about bats. At least in the base game. Maybe somewhere in Manic Miners they've thought of some new way of fighting bats in order to make them slightly less bloody irritating, but there's nothing you can do. There's just nothing you can do. It doesn't do any good to think otherwise. Okay. Let's build up a base. We can get in here, which is going to be all fine and dandy, but there's going to be a monster in there, so, okay. This isn't really what I had in mind. I should have reinforced that ages ago, but never mind. Never mind. Oh, they're all going to go off and fight the wrong monsters, aren't they? Yes, you're busy doing the wrong thing, you goomba. Thank you, that's better. Okay, let me reinforce that before something else goes wrong. Bloody bats! You can see why so many species of bats are endangered, can't you? Because they're so bloody irritating. Are bats endangered? I don't know. I don't know. I just heard about some people that wanted to build something once and they couldn't because they found bats in a neighbouring forest and they couldn't build there because they were afraid the construction and the lights and things would disturb the bats at night when they were trying to do their batty business. So presumably they're sort of important. Where are you go? Oh, I missed one, did I? I see. How daft of me. Right, never mind any of that. There's a couple of ore seams here. They'll be handy. I'll reinforce these as well because I'm not sure I'm going to punch through these just yet. What I'm going to do, because we've actually got the time, because the air supply is quite generous around here, is I'm just going to reinforce basically everything that I can. Just because I don't want any more possibility of monsters than is absolutely necessary. So let's all go on a little bit of a reinforcement campaign. And could you, like, go and reinforce them? No? Alright then. Oh, blimey. Mixing the bats with the monsters is an interesting concept because it's interesting because I want to put people in vehicles. Yes, walk home, then realise that there's reinforcements that need doing. I want to put people in vehicles so they're not pestered by the bats. Like that. But then I don't want to put people in vehicles because if they're in vehicles then they won't be... You do have a hammer. Why aren't you using it then? They won't be able to defend the base with their guns. So so that leaves me in a little bit of a situation in terms of what I do. With the hard rock, it's not too much of a trouble because you can click on the wall and tell them to go and reinforce it. But with the loose rock and the dirt, you can't do that because it thinks that you want them to drill the wall instead, which is a bit of a shame, if you ask me. What is my priority for? Yeah, reinforcing is much, much higher than clearing rubble. You think they'd be prioritising that, but never mind. It doesn't matter. You know what? The air supply is so generous. I think I'm going to bring down a couple more people, maybe 7, just to kind of move things along a little bit faster. Give them guns as well. Yeah, because that still leaves us with half an hour, for crying out loud. If we haven't got the support station ready in half an hour, then something's gone wrong. And what did you expect with me running the show? then once we've sort of got all of this stuff reinforced a little bit, what I might do is clear the caves out just so that we don't have these monsters sort of hanging over us as a bit of a problem. What I might do is use the strategy of not turning action stations on, but instead I will... I don't guess there's anywhere better to put it. I'm trying to design my base smartly because I'm going to put the support station in there to kind of keep it as far away from the monsters as humanly possible. Trying to protect it by putting it in this natural alcove. Yeah, what I might do is not turn action stations on, but just gather everybody together and then just click on a monster and send them off to kill that one. Because if I do turn action stations on, they'll probably all just run off to the nearest monster, which won't necessarily be the same monster, and I want to pick them off one at a time. Did you feel those tremors? The volcano must be erupting. Get your units to higher ground if you can. Oh. Bollocks. Find higher ground now! We will not have time to evacuate you. Well, that's lovely and all, but where in the name of all hell is higher ground? Oh. Why did I do this? Why didn't I do this next time? Where are you going, you blithering idiots? That's why they give you a lot of air, isn't it? Because they don't give you... Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, bloody hell. Where am I supposed to go, precisely? Where am I... Up here, I guess? Okay, fine. No. Everybody just stop it. I don't care about the... Oh, just ignore the bat. Please be brave. You people would be useless against Batman, wouldn't you? Right, come on. Okay, this is an issue. The lava is eroding at a phenomenal rate. That is an enormous issue. Okay.
Alright.
Okay, we're going to go up here because this is the closest thing to higher ground I can find. And then we're just going to have to see what the situation looks like. Because right now I don't really know what else to do with my life. This is not how I expected things to go. Okay. Did that happen because I brought down a 7th man, or that's a really bloody impressive image, just on its own sort of merits. But screw off. No, come up here, please. I'm doing this for your own survival. Stop it! I hate these bloody tremors. I remember in Awesome when they were happening, and I hated them then, and I hate you now. Okay. This is the closest thing to higher ground we can find, so this had better be good enough. Good work! Looks safe from eruptions. Construct Rock Raider HQ here, and we'll survive. Hopefully. Maybe. Probably not. We'll teleport you out once mission objectives are complete. I'm so glad we've all got guns. Can you imagine if we didn't have guns? Right, sorry, I just need to weep for a few minutes. Well, never mind that. Oh, it sank. This is going to be very interesting. I really don't know what's going to happen. But we seem to be safe from the eroding lava, which is the thing I was worried about. Okay. Okay. Maybe we won't have the support station constructed in half an hour. Okay. We found the higher ground. We're safe from lava. The question is going to be how many crystals can we find up here? Because what I'm beginning to wonder is, were they expecting me to have found those crystals and put them in the support in the whatever the hell you call that in the tool store, and I'd already have those 4 in addition to everything around here. Because if I don't have enough to get like all the buildings and a tunnel transport, then I'm basically screwed, because I'm not going to have any way of getting past this lava. because the large mobile laser cutter can't drive over it. You know, we're not in BAS mod, so that's not a possibility anymore. So, geological scan, so no activity. Congratulations, cadet, you survived. Now collect the 75 energy crystals we need. How in the name of Bluebeard's buggered bollocks am I supposed to do that? Sorry. I don't mean to be grumpy, but game, what are you playing at? Sheesh, I can't remember which way around the power station goes. After all these years, you'd think I'd be able to remember which way around the bloody power station goes. Okay, apparently, Old Faithful over here has calmed the hell down, which is lovely. Bloody hell, it's like Mount Doom. Maybe it's just my doom. One or the other. Okay. Let's get the teleport pad constructed and we'll figure it out from there. If it does need me to have... It might just be a case of you need to start off by just plunging as many crystals into the tool store as you can, so that when you get here, you then have enough resources to build the buildings and get the vehicles that you need. Because I don't really know... I mean, there's a fair bit of land here. There might be enough. There might be. I'm not frightfully hopeful that there will be, but there might be. It might be that I have to restart and then go back to here, basically drill out everything that I can, plunge as many crystals into the tool store as possible, and then run the moment the eruption starts. Because getting here was not tremendously difficult. I'm glad I found this relatively quickly. It could have taken me much longer to find it, so I was lucky to get here as quick as I did. So, and I guess unlocking all these other caverns probably gave me access to more air as well, so maybe you could bring down more people right from the start, but I thought I was being so clever. I thought I was being all clever, like, by thinking, let's think about what made hot stuff difficult the first time around, figure out what of that is still relevant, then we can predict what's going to be difficult this time around, we can formulate a strategy, and we'll be fine. It didn't quite pan out that way, did it? Bloody hell. I guess in the ultimate extreme, I could just bring down a tunnel scout, put a drill on the front of that, and then sort of go out and drill. Well, yeah, I was going to say, like, drill that and then sort of ferry the crystals back, but then I can't really do that, can I? I think you can carry one resource in the tunnel scout if you're holding it and then you get in it. Because you know how if you're holding a resource and you get into a truck, it just jumps straight into the cargo hold? Well, you can do something similar with the hover scout and the tunnel scout, I think, because you can just carry one resource kind of under your arm, as it were, while you pilot. So that might be the way that we end up having to do this, but let's mine the rest of this area out. And down the rest of our men, we'll equip everybody with all the resources they need. Oh, good! The bats have come. I'm so glad. I am so glad that you lot didn't die in the fire. I was so worried that you guys might have died in the bloody fire. Would have been the only bloody use I've ever had for the bloody lava. I hate the bats. I hate the bats. Are they attracted to base camp or something? Because they don't seem to be bloody leaving. I'd love to know what the programming behind the bats is in terms of if there is anything that attracts them or anything that dissuades them. I'd love to know. I probably never will, but I'd like to know. Because now I'm encouraged. Okay, a scene. That's good. Let's actually have a look at the radar. I'd like to... Oh, what's all this? Oh, I see. So even though the building's sort of sunk into the lava, the resource is still sat there. That's interesting. That's vaguely interesting, I suppose. Let's just have a look at this map proper. Oh, bloody hell. Is there another scene there? There is, yes. I just don't really know how I'd be able to cart them home. God, blimey. Bloody hell. Well, it's different. You can't deny that. Oh, I think the bats might have actually gone away and left us alone to our own business for 5 minutes. How kind of them. Sorry, I was actually having a look at this and trying to pay vague attention to what I was doing. Yes, looks like there's a recharge seam behind here, which is good. It's always good to have a recharge seam in case we need anything. Okay, I wanna drill out some more stuff and get a vague idea of where we are with crystals, so that I can understand if I need to use a more powerful computer to record these things, because the frame rate keeps dying and I can't really bloody blame it with the amount of lava that's around here at the moment. Yeah, I want to get an idea for crystals, because I want to understand if I can take forward a simple strategy of having a tunnel transport, or a more complicated strategy of something which doesn't involve a tunnel transport. But we'll have to figure that out as we go. Oh dear. I would love to upgrade my computer and have a more powerful one, because there are quite a... I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that one. There are quite a lot of more modern games. As much as I haven't been tremendously enthused by almost any games, really, that have come out since about... as in AAA games. Though I've been very impressed by a lot of recent indie titles. I haven't been tremendously impressed with really any AAA titles that have come out since about 2015. But there are one or two that stand out to me that I'd be quite interested to play. But I do need a more powerful computer to do that, because my computer was constructed nearly 5 years ago, and no, nearly 6 years ago. Sheesh, how the years have gone by. Yeah, nearly 6 years ago, and it was by no means cutting edge or terribly advanced at the time. So, and 5 years of age hasn't done either of us any good. So my computer is slowing down a little bit. I am noticing it being a bit slower and a little bit less stable than it has historically been. I'm frightened to uncover these caverns, but I'm not really sure I've got a hell of a large choice. I reckon if we can find, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 more crystals, we can... Oh good, these bastards are back. This has been a sweary episode, I apologise for that. Normally I like to try to elevate, not elevate myself, but to, like, be more creative than that, because I feel like it's very easy to just fall into the obvious adjectives of that sort of language, and it's more creative and it's more interesting to use sort of more creative and less expected language. But sometimes you just get a bit riled up, and there's no substitute for a nice cathartic utterance of the word bastard. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. For no particularly good reason, I'm going to set up some fence. Mostly for the reason that I'm paranoid. I guess we'll stick to it wouldn't really do any good to put any there, would it? Because that wouldn't really solve anything. Yeah, just in case. I don't want to be caught. I don't want to be caught out. But alright, let's drill through here and see what we find. I'm sure it'll be horrendous and horrific and frightening. But we must look and we must see what we find. Anyway, yes, my computer was by no means cutting edge at the time. I only built it for about 500 quid. Oh, nothing went wrong. Lovely. What's on the far side of all this? Anything scary? No? Maybe a seam. Yes, a seam. Tremendous. Okay, I think we will have enough resources to be able to get a tunnel transport and work from there. So that's good. And I feel confident knowing that the game has told me that I'm safe from the lava up here, so that gives me confidence that I don't need to worry about the lava. So really it's just a case of logistics and monsters at the moment. But anyway, to go back to my prattle, yes, I'd very much like to upgrade my computer and have a more advanced one than what I currently have, both for the sake of being able to make better videos, because a more powerful computer would be able to edit things faster. It would hopefully crash less often while editing things, which would be grand, and you know there'd be lots of crystals, lovely stuff. There'd be fewer instances of the frame rate dropping while we are recording, which would be lovely, and I'd just be able to play more modern games in my own time, which would be lovely. But and I'm not the only person to complain about this. It seems like I can't go on Reddit for even 5 minutes without somebody complaining about this, and rightly bloody so. But my goodness gracious, the price of RAM at the minute. I was looking at one of those PC builder websites the other day, and genuinely, just to buy some RAM would cost more than my entire computer cost back in 2020 when I built the bloody thing. Like, you know something's gone wrong there. I mean, I'm buying more RAM, and I'm buying more powerful RAM than I did than the RAM that's in here, which is only like 16 gig. I think that's 2 sticks of 8. I think it is. I can't really remember, if I'm honest with you. But sheesh, RAM is expensive. Very, very expensive. I'm sort of waiting for the bubble to burst. I'm praying the bubble will eventually burst. All bubbles burst eventually. I hope that it is a bubble so that it bursts. Yeah, I'm sort of hoping that bubble will burst. I sort of figured it would have burst by now, but seemingly it hasn't. But I'm hopeful that soon the prices will become a little bit more reasonable, and then I can get a more powerful computer and the recordings will be a bit better. You know, maybe even one day it might even get to a point where we can record things in 60 frames per second. Wouldn't that be a hell of a thing? Recording at 60 frames per second is a hell of a lot more intensive than recording at 30 frames per second, because of course you're creating twice as much footage and you're capturing twice as much footage. So you need to have hardware, and you're processing twice as much footage as well when you're editing it. So the computing power has to be there to match that. Otherwise we wouldn't really get anywhere. Because I do play in 60 frames per second, but I only have OBS recording at 30 frames per second because frankly I just don't have the power to do so. It used to be that it was a combination of I didn't have the power and I didn't have the physical time to upload videos that were in 60 frames per second because of file sizes. Before a friend of mine showed me a piece of software which with much more advanced compressing capabilities than the software I was using before, which has allowed me to reduce file sizes considerably and make uploading things a lot easier. I can now upload a video which is like, 5 to 15 gigabytes instead of it being like 50 to 80 megabytes, which makes things a lot easier. I mean, it's less of an issue now than it was in the past because, of course, I don't know why I'm whittering on about this because I've got nothing else to witter on about, to be frank with you. It's less of an issue now than it was in the past because there were times in the past where, when we had like a regular schedule that I was trying to keep to, it was sort of scary to have this big files that you had to upload in a certain amount of time, and if they were slow and if they were delayed by just a day, then it was very easy to miss the schedule, and then you have to rejig things around and move stuff around. And with the amount of structure and variety I was trying to implement on the channel at the time, that was a rather scary thing. So sticking to 30 frames per second just sort of reduced that fear a bit. But obviously that's not anything we need to worry about right now. But I would like to upgrade my computer sooner rather than later. But it's difficult. It's difficult to find the time to figure these things out, and it's difficult to find the money when things are so very expensive. So the question becomes, how am I going to mine those seams out? What I think I'm going to do is, as I said, I'm going to need an upgrade station, aren't I? I didn't factor this into my calculations. There's another seam there. That would be very helpful. Yes. What was I whittering on about? Nothing interesting or important, I'm sure. Yes, the other thing about upgrading my computer is just finding the time to actually sit down and figure it out, because I don't claim to be a particularly tech-savvy person, right? I enjoy my technology, and I do. The trouble with me is... Actually, I shouldn't put you in there until we're ready to use it, should I? The trouble with me is that I find a level of technology that I'm happy with, and then I simply don't move on from there, right? Like, I love music. I am very, very enthusiastic about music. But I don't go to the level of being like an audiophile and really caring about music. I just sort of find a level of audio technology that I like and that works for me, and then I'm perfectly happy to stop there and never advance. Like I care about the audio quality of videos and having the best microphone possible, which is why I've gone through many generations of different microphones. And there's a lot further I could go in terms of like setting up an audio interface that I'm not using USB microphones anymore, and advancing in that direction. But I get to a point with a microphone like this one where I'm perfectly happy with the audio quality, and I just sort of can't be asked to learn to go any further. Which I think is, you know, it's a thing of aging, because when you're young, you're eager to explore and understand new technologies and you embrace them a lot. But then when you get to a certain age, you sort of can't be asked anymore, and you stop the world, I want to get off. Okay, this is going to be more difficult than I thought. This is going to be more difficult than I thought, but gladly we do have that electric fence there, which is going to do us wonders. Okay, so those monsters are going to spawn, which is going to cause me problems. I reckon I might be able to get the crystals out of here, because that would only involve retreading land I've already walked over, and there can't be any triggers for monsters to spawn if it's land I've already walked over. You are going to die, aren't you? Yes, thank you, that's most kind of you. So I'm going to try this seam here and see if I can get away with that instead. Where's that seam? That's there, which is about 50 miles away. Quite close to Mount Doom, so I'm not really chuffed about that. Yeah, let's have this mined out. I'm going to bring the tunnel transport over here as well sooner rather than later to collect those crystals. You're not carrying anything right now, are you? No, you're not. Good. It does annoy me slightly that the delete key for this kind of obscures the third inventory space, but never mind. Okay, just relax, everything's going to be fine. There we go. Okay, let's bring you home, because I just want to do this one step at a time. There we go. Because what I did, in an ideal world, what I'd like is 2 tunnel transports and a large mobile laser cutter, because then I could have one of them just for mining, and the other one for ferrying resources. So we've currently got 12 on hand, which is good, and we're not completely done around here. So I'm going to carry on mining out these areas, see what else we can find, and maybe if we're lucky we can get more, and we can beam this up as well if we get to that stage as well. Anyway, yes, so I'll confess I don't know a tremendous amount about building computers. I understand the basics, but what I find the most, not the most difficult part per se, but the thing which sort of puts me off actually getting off my arse to figure it out. I'm worried about uncovering new land and it being eroded is the trouble at the moment. What about monsters spawning? Speak of the bloody devil. From where? From the same place as before? No. Where is he? No, that's a bat they're frightened of. There, which is like about 60 nautical miles away from anywhere that matters. Okay, that's fine. Muppet. I'm sorry if the frame rate is dying. There's not a lot I can do at this point, other than try to sort of restrict the view to the point where it's not trying to process quite so much. I suppose, I was going to say, I suppose this gives it like an access opportunity for attack, doesn't it? But it doesn't really, because there's a fence all around the other areas of the base. Yes, the thing about building... Oh, he's just going to wake up all his buddies, isn't he? Like some sort of bell end. How lovely of him. The thing which acts as a bit of a barrier to entry for me getting off my arse to actually figure out how all this stuff works is it's not just a case of, oh, buy some RAM, buy a motherboard, buy a PSU, buy all the other bits and bobs that you need. There's more to it than that. You need to have pieces which are compatible with each other, first and foremost, and you need to have... I should really have a mining laser by now to defend base camp, because I am actually genuinely quite frightened about monsters. Not frightened of monsters, but frightened of what they might... Okay, they've split up, which is frankly a miracle. Because that means that he's going to die in the fence, which is going to make my life a lot easier, and then the rest of these men can look after killing him, which is going to make my life happy, 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 happy man. Maybe if we do the sort of top-down perspective, it won't have to process as much of the lava, which I think at the moment is what's damaging your frame rate. Yeah, you need pieces which are compatible with each other, first and foremost. Secondly, what you need is pieces which are kind of all at the same level. Because there's absolutely no point whatsoever in having I don't know, an amazingly powerful graphics card if you don't have a CPU which kind of matches it, right? Otherwise you end up bottlenecking, and you've got certain components that are holding you back while the other components are not being used to their full potential, which is just a waste of time. You might as well have either bought a weaker graphics card or bought a more powerful CPU, but this combination that you do have just doesn't work, right? So that is one of the things which is important to understand me and be cognizant of as you're designing a PC, and that's not, well, it might be an easy thing to learn. I don't know. I've never actually bothered to get off my arse and figure it out. But that's you know, that's one of the things that you do need to figure out if you're going to do this. And I know I could just like buy a pre-built PC, but I don't know. That seems a bit too easy. I do want to figure these things out. I just struggle to find the time to do that. From another 50-mile away place. Grand, that's lovely. I'm actually happy leaving this kind of avenue open because it brings them onto the land and away from the lava. Which is good, because when they're on lava I can't really fight them. So I'm actually quite happy to have that bit of land there. Okay, we're not doing too badly actually. I think we'll definitely be able to get a large mobile laser cutter. Whether we'll be able to get another tunnel transport is a separate matter for consideration, but consider it we shall in good time. Yes, because we have to be able to defend ourselves before we go out there, because there's no point in going out there if we can't defend ourselves. Those three will come in mightily handy as well. Okay, I am going to have a quick head count. So we could have like 10 for another tunnel transport, and then we've got 3 plus those 3 plus those 4 is 10. So that's easily enough for another, or rather for a large mobile laser cutter. Ouch! I don't know what happened, but he got badly hurt. Okay. But yes, maybe if we're lucky, I'll have figured out all of those complicated PC building things by the time you're gonna come over here and die in the fence. Oh, you are. What a lovely monster. What a lovely monster. I'm still gonna shoot you because I don't like you, but you're a lovely monster. As monsters go, you're a lovely one. Do you think there's still that seam? Goodness, I don't know where it is, or where it would be relative to the original map, but there was this one seam that had like 30 energy crystals in it that you could drill out. That was a hell of a thing to discover back in the day. Right, I want a large mobile laser cutter, and I want to drive it, or just act as a turret really, because the tunnel transport's going to be the only thing that's driving. Scanner? Oh, hang on, that's a chrome crusher, isn't it? Whoops, I was just thinking, these upgrades don't make sense. I've got the wrong thing, lot, because I'm a dummy. Right, never mind. Shall we stick those all back in the power station and we can have another go? I'm an idiot. Right, where have I gone amongst this hubbubbery? Not you. Where am I? There I am. Shouldn't have got a bloody daft hat on. Yeah, maybe by the time we've actually figured all of that out, RAM prices will go back to something vaguely respectable, and we can all have a happier time and higher frame rate videos. Wouldn't that be lovely? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay. We're running slightly short of crystal. Because we haven't mined that out. That is where my deficit's coming from. That makes more sense. Actually, I might send you over there to drill those bits out, and somebody else can drill that, because I think the large mobile is kind of... It's better served knocking down hard rock, given that is what it's more capable of doing. So let's knock these down. Hope there's no crystals. Well, I sort of do hope there's crystals behind them because I want crystals, but also I sort of don't because I don't want this monster to... There he is, all the way up there. I don't want him to eat them. It doesn't seem to be that much of a trouble. It's difficult when the land is this tumultuous to really see where the sort of the individual tiles are and sort of what's a corner and what's not a corner. But anyway, right. Let's bring him down here because I want to have a look. See what we got here. There's quite a lot of interesting land here, actually. I'm still frightened of finding land which has the potential to be eroded through, but we shall see what happens. Is he coming this way or not? He can't make up his mind which way he's going right now. Okay, yeah, he's coming this way, so he's going to die in the fence. That's fine. Just want to make a whole 100% sure. Right. Let's knock some of this stuff down. Because again, we might as well just continue to meander about, find crystals and explore, and then we can always wander off and get the stuff that's out in the rivers of lava a bit later. Is this not going to get eroded? That's unexpected. Because this is lower down, right? This is a lot lower down. Is it? Would it be that if I'd uncovered this land before the eruption, then this land would have been taken by the lava? But because I'm uncovering it after the end of the eruptions, the lava has stopped eroding? I don't know if you'd be able to program something that complicated into it, but maybe. If so, it's going to make it a lot easier because it's going to give me a lot of land I'm going to be able to work through without having to worry about traversing lava, which is going to make my life a lot easier. I'm not wholly sure I trust how well this is going, but for the time being, I'm not going to look the proverbial gift horse in the mouth. Now that I say it, I think that might have been the seam I was talking about earlier. Yes. What I'm going to do is just dispatch these monsters here, just so that I don't have to worry about them. This won't be all of them, but it will be enough of them that I won't need to continue to worry. At least not for right now, and this will allow me to sort of spread my... Yes, from whence? From whence did he come? I don't know. I can hear him, but I can't bloody see him. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? I don't know why I don't just use this bloody thing and find him. Okay, he's about 60 miles away. Okay, that's fine. In that case, I'm still going to kill this guy, because I reckon I can get rid of him before his friend shows up. And then, if we're lucky, which we probably won't be, but if we were lucky, then that was a stupid risk. I shouldn't have done that, because there was a high possibility I could have hit a wall by accident, and then it would have revealed crystals. Yeah, where's he gonna go? Is he just gonna come straight for base camp? I suppose he should do, because with the exception of large mobile laser cutter and the men, there's not really anything else he can attack. God, there's a lot of monsters inside these caverns. I really hope they're not big monsters, otherwise... I mean, I was struggling to kill big monsters earlier in the game when I had like 3 large mobile laser cutters next to each other. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, so long as they keep spawning over there, in like on the far side of the equator, where they're so far away, I genuinely don't care because it's going to take them about 3 time zones worth of travel to actually reach me. Is he going to go through there? That's interesting. Then I'm not fussy. But we'll get to all that in a minute.
An energy crystal has been found. Tunnel transport.
I'll probably turn him round, and that's fine. I can live with that. I just kind of want to get rid of this guy because he's just sort of getting on my nerves a little bit. I just want to get rid of him because he's sort of getting on my nerves a little bit. Doesn't seem that interested in the crystals anyway. Finally, a monster who understands restraint when it comes to gobbling dinner. I wish I shared that virtue. Well, this is turning into a very interesting level, as much as it's by no means what I was expecting. Which, to be honest, is just a reprise of what happened in Air Raiders. I was not expecting Air Raiders to involve a flood, and I wasn't expecting Hot Stuff to involve a volcano. But I guess they read the mission briefing and thought, oh, you want a volcano? I'll give you a bloody volcano. I mean, that is a hell of an image, isn't it? If that doesn't make it to the thumbnail, then I'm a forgetful man. I mean, I am. That's just a fact at this point. So it kind of goes without saying that I'll probably end up using something else for the thumbnail, simply because I'll forget. Oh dear. I feel quite warm, actually. Not because of the lava, just because of the high likelihood of bollocking up. Okay, lots and lots of crystals. That's good. That means we can get plenty of tunnel transports to kind of cart crystals away while we leave the large mobile laser cutter and one of the tunnel transports there to A, mine, and B, defend. So I'm going to bring down another tunnel transport, and I'm going to pop this cheeky chappy in for no particularly good reason other than that he is here and immediately available. And I'm going to have him pick up the large mobile laser cutter, and then I'm going to bring down another one just for good measure. So now we've got 2 that are going to be driving around and mining things and collecting things while we mine things. So that's good, isn't it? Okay. I am going to go first off on a little purification rampage, if you'll forgive my choice of words, and purify this land of these villains that live here and that I miss with my laser beam. There we go. Just get rid of some. There we go. Yeah, there we are. I just want to get rid of the monsters that are nearby, so that I don't have to worry about accidentally waking them up, or more probably them being woken up by one of their friends who spawned and then walk by them. So, bloody hell, I'm not. I don't think I need to go up there because I don't think there's any pieces of wall I could actually knock down. But I still don't want to go anywhere near that. Is there anything on the far side of here that I could drill through? Oh, there are. There's quite a few actually. There's lots, in fact. Lots and lots of areas that need to be drilled out. So that's really interesting. Why is there one little tiny bit of land that's taking 100 years to erode through? I don't really know. I don't really care either. There's some bats who seem to have got slightly confused about how flying works. Well, it is complicated. It took us, oh, I don't know, at least a couple thousand years to figure it out. Well, I mean, a couple thousand years after we were... Oh, blimey, that's quite a lot, actually. At least a couple thousand years after we'd figured out the basics, like, you know, agriculture. Yeah, see, I find this interesting. Like, how can you have a single piece of wall? That doesn't really work. I know it's more a single piece of floor at that point, but I don't know. I don't know. Right, that's all that stuff mined out. Would you? Thank you. Sorry, I think I'm gonna have to zoom out a bit. As much as I'm frightened of doing that for the sake of the frame rate, I need to zoom out a bit so that I can sort of get a better view on what I'm looking at and what I'm doing. But yeah, I think the only other sleeping monster is that one over there, and I don't have many concerns about him, so
An energy crystal has been found. Tunnel transport.
Let's continue to explore. I think that scene there is the one I was telling you about, the one that in the original mission had a lot of crystals fall out of it when you first knocked it down. I am scared of there being a monster inside here. I'm just going to sort of drive next to it in case I can get a look and see. Okay, there's not a cavern in here, there's just a lot of rock. I can live with that. I'll knock this down and then the tunnel transports can come by to scoop it up and take it home. Okay. We'll survive, I reckon. Hopefully. We'll survive as soon as the chief gets his head in gear, sacks me, and puts somebody else in charge of these missions. Then we'll be fine. And I get relocated to, I don't know, repairing the LMS Explorer's lavatories or something. Something unimportant. That, well, as anybody who's ever had a house with a broken toilet in it will tell you, no, actually, that's a vitally important thing to make sure remains up and running. But at least nobody's going to die because of a broken toilet. Okay, I'll sort of wander about and drill out a few other little odds and bods, I suppose, just to spend the time doing something very productive. I'm not sure why one of the lasers has got caught in my rafters, but it doesn't matter. At least that one energy crystal. You know what, I'm actually not really concerned, because with the amount of lava here, there isn't really a land border or a land bridge for the slugs to actually even try to get at me. So, maybe, yeah, if I busted through there, they'd be able to get to base camp, but I'm genuinely surprised we haven't seen more of the slugs in the game. Most of the time when we've met the slugs, it's just been them sort of being discovered in a corner of a map in a little island or something, and then them just sort of darting off to safety. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I have, so I'll live with it. Yes, I don't really know what to do. I'm a bit frightened. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, because I don't really... Oh, I didn't put anyone else in this. I'm so stupid. I'm such a stupid person. Why can't you get in this? I'm going to put a couple people in trucks, because I think that would be useful, because there's more land than I thought there'd be. I thought we'd be completely dependent on aircraft here, so I'm actually quite impressed that
Take your order. Time to locate crystals.
Why is no valid spawn points? Oh, because the truck's still in the way, isn't it? Sorry, I'm stupid. Yes, Bandit, I'm sorry. You have to be a courier for a while. Sadly, not one that can walk the long road of the divide. That's for a different day. Yeah, let's just get a couple of people in trucks, because I don't, at the moment, with the large mobile laser cutter and the mining laser, I don't really need to have men on the ground in terms of guns. So I think I can afford to put them in vehicles, and then they can be much more efficient, and they won't get tired, they won't need to bother about sandwiches, and added to that, we won't need to worry about the bats affecting them either.
Take it to the sky.
Indeed. And there's no upgrades to be done. Okay. Oh, we can't leave the chief. We can't leave the chief without a vehicle. And we can't leave that guy on his own without a vehicle. That's just discrimination. So, fine. We're sticking everyone in a vehicle, it seems. No rubble's going to get cleared, but that's fine. Actually, you know what? We don't really need another truck, and we might as well give the chief an important job. He is an important old soul, after all. Which sort of begs the question what he's doing down here and not on the bridge of the LMS Explorer looking after the situation.
There? Oh, I am too old for that.
Yes, I know. I feel that way every morning when I think, I need to get out of bed. But never mind. There's 4 monsters in there, bloody hell. I don't want to deal with 4 monsters. I don't want to deal with 1 monster, let alone 4. I have a nasty feeling the ones that we're going to uncover aren't going to be just simple, normal 100 HP monsters either. I have a bad feeling they're going to be stronger than that. But anyway, let's come over here and mine that seam out as well, actually. Basically anything that we can mine out that doesn't uncover monsters, I think, is fair game for an old shot of the laser at the moment. We can get away with shooting that, can't we? Yeah. Can't really get away with shooting much else. Can we get away with shooting that? I think so, yeah. I think we'll survive anything else. Okay. I need to worry. From where? From there! That's alright. I can shoot him. Actually, with the amount of land that we've got here, I don't really need to have the large marble laser cutter in a tunnel transport. It could be alright on its own 6 feet at the moment. But, if you'd get out of the way for a moment. Thank you. Alright, let's bite the bullet and see what's in this seam. Probably nothing out of the ordinary, but I'm curious all the same. Let's have a look and see what there is to be seen.
An energy crystal has been
Yeah,
found.
5. Oh, no, that's still quite a lot. That's maybe 9 or so. Yes. It must not be counting the 4 that are in the seam itself. So that's interesting. Okay, so plenty extra. Plenty extra. There's not quite as many as that old seam had back in olden times. Alright. This is a big man. I don't want to explore the whole thing. We've already been going an hour. And there's still just so much to do. Okay, I think I need to bite the proverbial bullet and deal with these monsters. So what I'm going to do is unload the large mobile laser cutter so that the other tunnel transport can be used for moving things, and I've realised the radar's following the wrong vehicle. I'm sorry about that. There we go. So there's 4 monsters. If we're lucky, when we knock this wall down, the monsters will be asleep. We haven't had much luck thus far, so it's about time I had some.
An energy crystal has been found.
Okay, they're asleep. They're not going to be asleep for very long because I'm going to kill them. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Do you mind being slightly less of a pain in my rectum? Thank you very much. Chief! Chief! You're very, very, very nearly going to wake up these monsters and then... Oh! Bollocks! I don't know who's flying that thing, but they need to have their pilot's license revoked. Okay, well, a squiffy anchor, but don't you worry about that. Right, okay, where's that monster? There's that monster. Okay, where's he going? I have no idea, and frankly, I don't think he knows either. We're just both meandering through life with no ideas of where our careers are going or why our lives are happening. We're just sort of muddling through one day at a time. And do you know what? That's an attitude I can respect. Right. I don't know who woke up that monster, but they need a stern talking to. Let me shoot you in your magma-made buttocks. There we go. Get rid of this one as well, and then I think there's another one behind that bit of wall there that I want to get rid of. And then, blimey, they move quickly on the rubble, don't they? There we go. Yes, there he is. let's knock down a few more bits of wall, just to sort of get a clear line of fire, and then we'll get rid of this monster. Then we'll be done with this little bit, and then I think there's one more cavern that's a bit like that we'll need to work our way through. I could let him go, and I will. Not because I'm being kind and generous and I don't want the creature to die, simply because I don't want to accidentally risk... Excuse me, would you mind getting your arse out of my face? You're giving me some sort of visual seizure. Thank you. Simply because I don't want a chance accidentally knocking down one of those walls and exposing some crystals that are going to be troublesome to bring home. So, it's not generosity, it's pragmatism that kept that monster alive. Okay, that area's been cleared out. That's all good. I'm going to come over here now, and I am going to do the same over here, I think, if I can access it, which I think I just about can. I probably should have done it on the other side. This was the wrong moment in time to do this, but never mind. Could you get out of the way? I can't see a Oh, good, just wake them all up for crying out frickin' loud! Get out of my face! You bloody tunnel transports! I love you and you're brilliant, but you keep getting in the way of my laser beams! Right, would you... Not you. You just stand there and... Go off and do something else with your life. You just stand there and destroy that, because frankly that's the only thing you're good at doing. Oh, I love these tunnel transports, but they get in the way of my lasers so much. I hate it when everyone just charges and thinks, oh, new cavern, rubble to clear, resources to collect, and monsters to wake up. Just stop barging in. Just let me deal with it. Where's the large mobile? Oh, it's probably gone for repairs, isn't it? Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Just stop barging in, waking up all the monsters, and then getting in the way of my laser beam. Just don't do that, and we'll all get along in a cheery fashion. Oh my goodness, this game. Despite the AI getting so much more advanced, it is still so capable of driving me mad. What's that old phrase? The more things change, the more they stay the same. That is so freaking true. It certainly is for this game anyway. Oh, I love playing this game so much. Oh, bollock off. There's an old man driving that. Stop being cruel. That's just his mobility scooter. We just put a snowplow on the front because he always drives to the shops and it helps in the winter. Ah, goodness sake. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Okay, that's all of that done. That's just marvellous. Okay, let's reconnoitre. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'll move my old arthritic bones back into some vaguely professional-looking stance, shall I? Okay. Crisis averted. We still haven't reached 75 crystals. I mean, strictly speaking, we've reached way more than that. But anyway, okay, let's have a little look at where we're at. Okay, so I think we've drilled out pretty much everything that we can hiccup our way through. No, we've drilled out pretty much everything that we can access. Everything that we can access without... That's going to be my next point of attack. Pretty much everything that we can access, which we can access from the land without the use of a tunnel transport. So I reckon what we have to do now is carry the large mobile laser cutter around while we drill things out. So that's what I'm going to do. The trucks will be relegated to ferrying ore, I'm afraid, but that's okay because at least there is plenty for them to do. And what I've also thought is when they're done, we can turn off ore collection, can't we? Which would be good, because that would mean that the tunnel transports would be dedicated to collecting crystals only, and they wouldn't be wasting their time with ore, which would be good. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Okay. As long as the caverns stay like this, and they're just sort of little snaking pathways of rock, we'll be fine. So long as we don't find any more caverns of monsters, we might just muddle through. So, I was going to say that crystal will be safe. It won't be safe because the monster could just spawn out of here and eat the thing. So let's not leave it there for that to happen. That'll do for now. I can't keep drilling out forever. Well, I can, but I need to pick one of these caverns and stick with it rather than trying to dodge between two. I can't see a bloody thing. I'm trying to shoot myself at this point. I mean, I'm shooting myself in the foot off enough. Oh, for goodness sake, back up a bit. Actually, you know what? Just drop off. You can come back. You can come back for the large mobile Isakata when we need you. But for right now, just pop off and do something else for a little while, and I will come back to you in good time. Yes. Blimey. Sorry, that's still an awe-inspiring image. It's like... I've got my eye on you. It's not a very good eye. It's extremely short-sighted, and I think it might even have astigmatism as well. But other than that, my eye is on you, Mr. Blob of Lava. That must be one of the, like, channels of lava it was talking about. Like, if you find a stream of lava, then make sure that you kind of plug it as quick as you can. That must be what it was referring to. But I think the fact that we've got past that message which said there will be no more eruptions, you're safe, is, oh, some water. Excellent. We can all have a bath. We probably need one. I know I do. I've been sweating like a pig with all the frickin' stress. Do pigs sweat? I would assume so. I'd assume so because as a figure of speech it's just sweating like a pig, and if pigs didn't sweat that wouldn't make a very lot of sense, would it? A bit like the grammar in that sentence. No, I assume that pigs sweat because most creatures, like the vast majority of creatures, cover their skin with some form of... Ooh! How pretty. How pretty. I love that the water and the lava have sort of different textures depending on what level you're in, or what sort of environment you're in, whether you're in rock or lava or ice. I think that's kind of pretty. Sort of spices things up, makes it a bit different in different missions. It's not just the same old thing over and over again. No, what was I wittering on about? Yes, most creatures have some layer of fur or hair which allows them to regulate their body temperature without the need to sweat. But of course pigs don't have that. Pigs are reasonably unique in that they are... I mean, I know pigs do have hair on them. I'm aware of that, but I wouldn't classify the level of hair that a pig has in the way that I classify, say, like a horse's hair. In that I don't really think it's... And I don't claim to know anything about you know, zoology, but I would assume that a pig's hair isn't really thick enough or dense enough to really preserve its body heat compared to that of a horse or the fur of a dog, for example. So presumably, if they don't regulate their body temperature that way, they must have another system for doing that, and you know, they spend their time outside. They're not like hairless or furless creatures that live underground, which perhaps don't have to worry about fluctuating temperatures quite so much. So presumably pigs do sweat. I don't know why I'm sitting here having a thought experiment trying to figure out whether pigs sweat or not when I could just look it up, but you know, I'm busy. I'm busy driving over little spiders, mining out walls, and talking drivel. And all of those things are much more important than Googling things. So let's get on with it, shall we? I think, and I don't want to jinx it, but I think we might be past the worst of it with this mission. Hooray! An hour and 6 minutes, and we're probably only about halfway done with the amount of map we've still got to look through. But yeah, I feel like we've survived the lava, which, now that I think about it, kind of harkens back a little bit to Don't Panic, sort of running away from the lava and trying to find some land that's safe before setting up base camp and collecting crystals, and then having a more extended sort of mission from that point once you've got away from that immediate threat, which is sort of cool. I like that we're sort of referencing back to that old style of mission. That's cute. I like that. Sorry, could you? Okay, you're only carrying 1 crystal, so yeah, I think you can wait a bit longer. Yeah, I just want to like just carry this guy across here and just see what we've got. If there's more land that I can drive on. It doesn't look like it, no. So what I might do, yeah, what I reckon I'll do is I'll bring this guy back, drop him off on the ground again. There we go. You can go off and get some crystals. I noticed a piece of wall I missed. Yes, indeed. Then I'll sort of drive us back the way we came, and we can have a look and see. Have a look and see what else there is to look around, because we seem to have reached the corner of this map, judging by those very flat bits of wall that we found right on the perimeter. So let's continue to explore and see what else we can find, because there was that other sort of pathway of wall that I left behind, but I think that might have been sort of this area here, which might have sort of knocked itself out. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's fine. We just need a... You'll do perfectly, thank you. We just need somebody to give us a lift. And then we can start exploring around here. Right. Let's come over here. I'm guessing this is going to be... maybe not, actually. I was thinking this would be a relatively short little section of land, but I'm not actually convinced by that anymore. Okay. There's something over there. That's good. Let's just knock that down. Nothing there either. And again, not many opportunities for monsters to spawn, so that's lovely. So I'm going to do... Oh, this is short because there's just solid rock behind it. Oh, okay. I thought this would lead off to go up there, but maybe not. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's just knock these down, and then I noticed a little bit of dirt over here that we could drill through. I'm curious to see what's on the far side of that. And then obviously there's all the hard rock and stuff over here that we can have our have some time going through. But I want to see what's through here, if anything at all. Nothing. Probably just a spot for monsters to spawn and to be a pain in my bum, as they all want to do. I don't really know what the point of that piece would be, because a monster wouldn't even be able to spawn out of it. Okay, lots to look at over there, but we'll come back to all of that in time. Oh goodness, there's a monster that I forgot about. I'm terribly sorry. I hope you didn't feel left out while all of your friends were being murdered. Thinking, why aren't I popular enough to get murdered? Why does everyone want to murder apart from me? Well, you've been murdered now. Bit of a late bloomer, but that's alright. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's work our way along here, get this stuff drilled out, and then I feel like we'll have done... Oh, blimey! That's more what I was talking about before. I think it was probably more than 21, or maybe 25, if it's not counting the 4 base ones in the wall. But that's nice. I love the way they kind of all explode out like confetti from a party popper. I think that's really cute little reward for your exploration. But that's fine. We can leave the tunnel transports to that. In fairness, I could actually get some of the guys out of trucks and replace the trucks with tunnel transports. I might do that in a minute. once I've finished with this. Because there's only going to be ore left on the island for them to worry about, and there's really not any point in them fussing about that, given we've already got 1,000 bits of it. So, yes, in fact, are they all just sitting at home with nothing to do? Yes, they're all literally just sitting at home with nothing to do. Okay, all of you, I want you to beam those circles up. And instead, I want to get a couple of tunnel transports, and then when you've had sandwiches, you can go and get in those. Yes, Mr. Ghostman, you can have a tunnel transport.
Tunnel transport.
I'll have another one, please. Sorry, I was trying to look under here. Oh no, someone else has got in there. Sorry. That's alright, you can have a different one. There we go. And another one, please. Where's the chief gone? He must have just sort of stopped after the final bit of rubble that he cleared. The question is where he's gone. Where has he gone? Where's Chief? Oh, Chieftain! Oh, there you are. Right. You come back here. I'll take him a minute to get back for repairs so we can wander off and do something else for a few seconds. If you don't mind, I'm going to leave that for a little bit later. I love all the bats are getting bugged out and nobody need worry about them anymore. That makes me happy. Come over here, I reckon. And then I'm going to let that get repaired. Then I'm going to beam that up. And then beam this down. And then when he's finished having his sandwiches, he can get in there. And then we've just got everybody in the most efficient mode of transport in terms of being able to move across the lava and collect resources as quick as possible. So now it doesn't really matter that I'm taking up one of the tunnel transports by carrying the large mobile laser cutter, because we've got so many of them now that we don't really need to worry about it. So I'm not so fussy about dropping the large mobile laser cutter off on the ground, because it's a little bit time consuming to bring the vehicle back for that. So assuming that assuming that that it doesn't just become visually annoying having the tunnel transport there sort of getting in the way of what we're trying to look at, which it already is a little bit, then I don't really see any need to drop the large mobile laser cutter down. But we shall see how it goes. Let's get rid of him. There we are. Just clear these as well before I get worried about them. There we go. Okay. There's the ore seam here. Are there monsters in there? There are, aren't there? Okay. That's going to be interesting, because the moment I open that, it's going to be swarmed by tunnel transports, isn't it? Yes, we both know it's going to get swarmed by... Okay, this is already annoying me. This is already annoying me. I want this tunnel transport out of the way so that I can... You know what? Never mind. I'll do this differently. There we go. I'll do this differently because it's just getting on my nerves with all these tunnel transports getting in the way. I can't see what I'm doing. I love the tunnel transports. They're amazing. My goodness. I just wish there was a bit more sort of vertical real estate. It is kind of... It's kind of evident that the game was never really designed to have the tunnel transport in it. It might be the case that the tunnel transport was originally planned, but then for whatever reason, perhaps lack of time, or perhaps it just sort of didn't work in trying to implement it. It wasn't implemented into the base game. I imagine that's probably how it worked, because obviously they had a fully fledged model from... He looks a bit bigger, or is he just sort of standing up a bit higher? No, he's just standing up a bit higher. That's fine. That's fine. If you get in the way of the final shot to the point where he goes in a wall and then escapes with a crystal, I'm going to kill a ghost, which is going to be a real challenge on an ethereal level. But don't you worry about it. I'll find a way. Nature and anger finds a way. Would you get on with doing something, please? Thank you. Oh, is that literally all there is? Oh, I suppose there is, isn't there? Because there's no ore for anyone to collect. Because there's nobody clearing rubble. Never mind, it doesn't matter. What was I saying? What was I saying before that monster spawned? I don't know. It's different. I have a very poor ability to retain information for Oh yes, that's right. I was talking about them. I was talking about possible theories of whether or not they were thinking of implementing the tunnel transport into the base game. They probably did. They probably did, because they had the whole concept of the tunnel transport dreamt up, and obviously they had the model for it, because you see it at the end of Frozen Frenzy. So they obviously had a model of it designed. So it just would have been a case of, you know, programming in its animations and its mechanics and kind of making it work in with the rest of the game. But I do just wonder if part of it was the fact that it's such a big vehicle that there just sort of isn't really space for it, especially around other buildings and vehicles and things. You just kind of don't have the real estate on the screen to work with it. I'm trying to remember if the game originally ran in 16:9. I have a feeling it didn't. And obviously with a much lower resolution screen and blockier models and textures and things, I don't know. I get the impression it all would have looked a bit messy, and that might have been one of the contributing factors why it didn't make the cut into the full game. I know we've talked previously about various things that were cut from the game or didn't make it into the game, including the canteen, among other things. So obviously there was a lot cut out. I don't know if that was like a Fallout New Vegas situation where they didn't have the time to finish it before the corporate bods wanted them to kick it out the door, or if there was something else going on. But either way, I think I can see sort of a reasonable sort of line of reasoning for somebody to perhaps not worry about bringing the tunnel transport in. Maybe I shouldn't have got done quite so many of those things. Do I have 9 of them? I must have 9 of them, because the only person that's not in one is me, and I'm in this, which means it must be. Cool, blimey, governor. If we had anybody on foot, I'd put a. There is a sign here. Here, slime sneak, no touch crystal, befriend snack with more okay then, better do as it says, cadet. What are you talking about? Befriend with more okay. You won. I mean, you can't drain any crystals, so I don't give a damn. There you go, you got crystals, you can't do anything with them. This is clearly a reference to a joke I don't get. But okay. Whatever floats your boat. If anybody can explain that joke to me as well, they're welcome to. And these slugs can't do anything. Because again, you know, they kind of can't access the base camp, so I don't really care. I don't get the walrus joke, and I don't get the snack joke, which I'm guessing is like a play on snake. I mean, it's a slug, obviously, but I'm guessing it's a play on snake. The internet likes to do that with a lot of words and sort of names for creatures, you know, like a burb instead of bird, and danger noodle instead of steak, and all the rest of it. But I don't know what that's. I don't know if that's. I don't know. It's 10 PM. I've probably been playing for over 2.5 hours now. I'm frankly exhausted, and I'm just glad that I don't have to deal with these slugs in any manner that really matters. So, no, we're just going to pinch all the crystals, and the slugs can figure it out for themselves. How strange. Are they going to continue to do that? They're not doing it the other one, which is the one where if they actually spawn from, it would be a genuine issue for me, because then they'd have access to my base camp and I'd have to refigure what the hell it is I'm doing with my life. But hey, if they just want to spawn here, if they just want to come out for a breath of fresh air and then leave again, who in all of hell am I to stop them? The answer to that is nobody, but they seem to have stopped now. I'm going to be scratching my head for a while about that one. I think I'm going to need your help to figure out what the hell is going on with that. I'm too tired, I'm too old, and I'm too out of touch with the hip kids to understand what the hell is going on. So, if you know, let me in on the joke, would you? Oh, and if you don't know, then then welcome to the world of confusion that we seem to be cohabiting in. Okay, let's see what we've got over here. Hopefully not all the way to the back of that cave, otherwise we're going to be here for a hell of a long time, and I don't want to do a jump cut while I just sort of meander around and mine stuff out, because I like the unedited style that we've been able to do through these videos. If I'd done this as its own video, that would have been easier, because I wouldn't have already had an hour of drivel that I'd expended on a different level. But it looks like there's a lot of ore seams over here on our sort of left of where the guy is currently facing, so that's interesting. So let's go a completely different direction, shall we? No, yeah, let's have a look at that and see what we see. Don't really know what we're going to see. It's a long way back to base camp, isn't it? Maybe I should... no monsters. The fact that they can't drain crystals that are just sat on the ground seems a bit of a design flaw. A bit of an evolutionary dead end, one might say. What I'd like to do is kind of... yeah, like maybe sort of through here or something. Basically, I want to find a shortcut for my tunnel transport so that they can have a more efficient route to get back to base camp. I feel like that would be good for them, because right now they're spending a lot of their time just transiting, which is less than ideal. So long as they keep spawning there, we're fine. If they spawn out of the other hole, we're screwed. So, so long as they're satisfied with just that one hole, we'll be fine. Now, don't take any of those sentences out of context. Oh dear, I love playing this game. I have so much fun playing this game. It's so impressive to me that it can still surprise me, catch me off guard, and frighten me. Because I've been playing this for a long time now, right? I think I first found Manic back in January of 21, I think it was. That's over 5 years. Over 5 years I've been playing this game and making videos on this game, and somehow, although I could not tell you how, I haven't run out of things to talk about, and this game has not run out of new, interesting and really cool things to show me. Now, admittedly, those videos have not been, like, you know, days apart. The first few were, goodness, the first few were, but no, now obviously I appreciate the videos are quite far apart, especially compared to, you utter bastard. That's going to be really difficult to get my mittens on, but do it I will. There we go. Sorry, I just need to kind of back this thing out. Squeeze! There we go. Because I don't think they'll drive through that little crevice on their own, so I'll have to help them. No, somehow this game still manages to impress me by showing me weird, interesting, daft, and sometimes just downright confusing things that catch me off guard and make me smile. So that's good. Nice to find these sort of weird little, I guess, Easter eggs is probably the best term to describe them, because it gives you a real reward for exploring around and seeing the entirety of the map beyond just, oh well, you know, there are 300 crystals in the level and you got all 300. Well, congratulations, and give yourself a biscuit. You know, a little bit extra than that is nice for folks that like playing games. Right, what's through here? Nothing terribly scary, because it does seem that all of the erosion has stopped. I was right that it mostly came down to the erosion rate of the lava. I did not expect the erosion rate of the lava to present itself in the manner that it did, but all the same, it was certainly a deciding factor for the difficulty of the level. I was just very lucky, I guess, to find safety when I did. Right, with the exception of going through here, I reckon we're about done with this corner of the map, and then we'll probably get back in a tunnel transport and meander about for a bit and figure out where the next era of conquest is, because this is a bloody huge map, and we haven't done anything beyond beyond the volcano, and we haven't really done anything to this sort of side of the map either. So still lots to do. 90 minutes into this. It's going to be a long ass video. I really should have left this to be its own level, but Air Raiders went faster than I expected, and as I said, I had a fear that I would put this one off if I didn't get straight to it. So yeah, they're still spawning on that one. I don't mind. I'm much happier them spawning there than spawning anywhere else, believe me. I'm just slightly confused. I'm slightly confused because it's not very sensible in terms of their tactics, but hey. We're practically at war with these slugs, and if they want to have stupid tactics, that's good, because goodness knows my tactics are stupid, and that means I have half a chance of winning. I only hope that the ones we encounter in Back to Basics will be equally mentally inept. They won't be, and Back to Basics is going to be really difficult. I have no idea what awaits us, but I can already tell you it's going to be very, very difficult. And I have no idea what to expect from Rocky Horror. And no idea what to expect from that little mystery thing in the cutscene menu that apparently unlocks when you finish Rocky Horror in the Remastered campaign. So we shall see. That's all for later. Probably in a month or two we'll see that. But I reckon we're about done over here. And we'll get one of these tunnel transports. No, hang on, there's a little more over here we need to look at, isn't there? So let's sort that out. Missed anything, have we? I don't think so. No. Good. Marvellous. Frame rate seems to be holding reasonably well, at least for the 2 seconds while I'm looking at it. Okay, plenty more for us to do. Oh dear. I am approaching the horrible realization that I might actually just have to say we're just going to have to do a jump cut to see what else is on the map and what else of interest happens, because I am sorry to say I am running out of things to say. I'm running out of observations to make, stupid jokes to tell, and prattle with which to bore you all with. So there we are. We might just have to bite the bullet, I'm afraid, because there's not really anywhere I can make this go any faster. Oh, from there. What are you doing?
Tunnel transport.
Nothing. That's weird.
Slimy slug is invading your base.
I'm guessing the monster spawn, because the monster spawn when we try to drive the tunnel scout down here to access that scene. So I'm guessing, because I've seen it in the level editor, I think there are ways you can mark certain tiles as triggering monster spawns, so that in levels where's he going? He's going to eat a crystal, which is probably in the bed of a, should probably that one actually, or is in the bed of a tunnel transport at the moment, because there won't be any that are just sort of sitting around, so he's probably coming here actually, which means it will be about 16 years until he arrives. That's fine with me. If we're lucky, we will find a shortcut through here. I'm not really convinced that we will. Maybe actually, maybe through here. Maybe we'll find something. The monster will have to turn around and walk all the way back. I like being mean to monsters because they're mean to me. Right. Let's. Yeah, I know there's a way that you can like mark tiles as basically causing monster spawns. I'm pretty sure that's a thing that you can do. So I'm guessing that's what's happened. There must be some sort of a something along here which is causing that to happen. So I am hesitant to knock that seam down because I don't want to not the bloody no, don't pick him up, drop him. Feel like oh, I don't even bloody care anymore. Just shoot the frickin' monster in the arse. Okay, fine, whatever. Just. They're confused because there's no bloody crystals for them to eat, and I'm confused because all the tunnel transports keep doing the wrong things and getting in the way, and generally everybody's just having a gnarly time, so none of it really matters. It always gets troublesome when a lot of tunnel transports are one on top of another. Okay, hopefully he's going to walk out there and die in the fence. Yes, good. I just want to make sure, because I've been fooled before, and I shan't be fooled again. And then, oh bloody hell, the frame rate. Okay, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a break, I think. Not for me, but for the computer, to hopefully let it cool down for a minute, and then we'll either carry on, or I'll just kind of do a jump cut until something else interesting happens, because there's a lot of maps to look through, and I don't want to just sit here not saying anything. So let's give the computer a 5-minute break. Oh, blimey. Bloody hell. That's a big old river. Sorry, I'm not entirely sure where the cut would have occurred there, so if you heard me wittering on some old ballad, I do apologise. That's just how I pass the time. I apologise that you had to listen to my infernal abomination I call music. Or at least my attempt at reproducing it anyway. Where did I leave you? I left you when we were about over here, I think. I've missed that spot, which is annoying. But anyway, you might remember there was a little bit over here. I sort of mined my way through here. We've not found anything frightfully interesting until we uncovered this, which is cute. This is a big load of water. Excellent. Maybe if we can get the water to meet the lava, it'll turn into a load of obsidian. That would be lovely. Maybe if we had more obsidian, there'd be more people around, and we'd have enough time to finish Fallout New Vegas before it was time to publish the damn thing. Or maybe I'm about 15 years too late to try and solve that particular predicament. Don't really know. Oh dear. The slugs have stopped spawning, which is interesting. Perhaps that's just a proximity thing, and they'll just spawn while you're there, and then once you go off and go back to living your life, they will stop. But blimey, it's a long road back. If I had any sense, I'd get out of the large mobile laser cutter every now and again and build a piece of power path so that I can bring down a tool store for these guys. But you know I don't have any sense, especially not at 10:30 at night when we're this deep into a video. So that's not gonna happen. That's not really what I wanted to do, but never mind. This is a big map. I don't know if this is a 64x64, which I think is the biggest map you can have, because I think they're defined by these sorts of grids, like how many squares tall and how many squares wide it is, judging by my very limited experience of looking at the editor. But oh, they're big. else now. I'm trying to think of the... Because one of the pieces of information you can see about a custom level before you start it is the size of the map. And I'm beginning to think of the ones that are bigger than that. If I see like a 128 by 128, I'm not really sure. That number would at least make sense because it's double 64, and that's sort of how the system works, isn't it? It's like, you know, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. That's sort of how that system of numbering works, which I think is important to computers, but I have no idea why. It's just a numbering system you see a lot in computers, but I don't really know very much about. I don't really know very much about programming, if I'm quite frank. We've reached this corner of the map, which is good, and that takes us like sort of halfway across, so there's probably only that sort of little corner left to do once we're done with this bit. I'm still a bit worried about the frame rate. I'm not really sure there's anything I can do to fix it, to be honest with you. Again, I don't want to jinx it. We also haven't found many more monsters. I don't know if this part of the map has been designed with a thought process in mind of, okay, you've come this far, you're just clearly here for the farming part of this, I'm gonna let you have that, or if this is more sort of lull you into a false sense of security, and I just happen to have not found the absolutely horrendous end game that it's waiting to present me with. I don't know, but we shall see. I will mine out the whole map. I might like not go back for like little odds and ends of corner pieces and stuff if I genuinely can't be bothered, because this could take at least another hour. The way things are going. Hell, it took me a good 15 minutes just to work my way across that bit that you didn't have to watch me go through. But we shall see. We're going to have a hell of a lot of crystals when we're done. That much is certain. So, yeah, there's this bit here. Then there's the far side of the river, which sort of starts to sort of cascade down to this big dip here, which makes us think there probably is land under here that needs to be explored, because if there wasn't, and it was just solid rock the whole way through, they probably wouldn't fuss about, you'd think it would drive around so that it could do it properly. They probably wouldn't fuss about setting all the terrain up if it was just a load of solid rock. So there's probably a whole world we need to explore our way through. But we'll get to all of that in good time, I reckon. Looks like there's plenty to explore through here as well. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to go back to my warbling instead of my yakking, which is what I normally do. And I'll explore for a little bit longer. And if we find anything interesting, like another giant river, or a giant monster, or a giant slug, because I'm not putting that past the game. Thus far, all the slugs have been the same size, but I started this game thinking all the monsters would be the same size, and the innocence of my youth was dashed upon the rocks of reality. So, I wouldn't be surprised if when we get into Back to Basics next time, that we find some giant 50-foot slug. That's an issue for a different day. If they are going to have a massive slug, they're not going to put it here. They're going to put it in Back to Basics, so I'm going to keep wandering around here and exploring a little while longer. I have to use a tunnel transport to get over that river, but that's a separate issue. And yes, we'll come back if I find anything of interest to show you. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can believe it, I think we're nearly done. We're just shy of 33 minutes since we had the little break for the sake of the frame rate, which I'm not really sure has fixed anything, but hey ho, it was worth a try. There are a few little odds and bods that I haven't drilled out, just sort of corner pieces here and there. Is there anything behind here? Nope, nothing here. which means we're pretty much done. Found in this big dip another lake of lava. A few seams around it, but nothing frightfully exciting. So, yeah, I think we're about done, really. This is a hell of a thing, right? Like, nobody could ever deny that this is a hell of a thing, and at the end we'll do a big zoom out, and I'll show you the whole map, like, this is an episode of bloody Boundary Break or something. But, yeah, we'll zoom out and have a little look at the whole map in a minute, but, yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. It's not been as difficult as I thought it would be. Oh, no, wait, I forgot, we're not done. There is a bit that I missed, because I especially wanted to leave it till the end, because so I thought we could do it together. Yes, sorry, I forgot. It's not the end yet. There's a little bit more that we need doing. Needs doing, because I wanted us to do it together, and I forgot about it. Sorry. It was quite a long time ago, forgive me. Back in the heady days of about an hour and a half ago. Hello, you're a monster, and I'm going to kill you, because that's apparently what I do. I'm so tired, I can't even remember why I came here, but here I am, and I'm afraid you're going to be on the receiving end of my laser beam. So deal with it. Right, okay, this was the last one. I thought there were more monsters in here. I thought this was like the last one where there were like 4 monsters, and all the monsters were going to jump out, and they were going to get woken up by the tunnel transports. And I thought it would be a disaster, and I thought you could laugh at me, and I thought, you know, that might be a reward for surviving how ghastly long this video must surely have been. I'm not looking forward to editing this, I can tell you. At times like this I wish I had an editor. But I don't. I just have me. Would you drop him, please? Thank you. Honestly, I was trying to get a dog leg of a rat. Repair. Why can't you repair? Oh, you're already fully repaired. I thought you'd taken damage. You had like only 100 health or something. Anyway, never mind. We're not like completely 100% done because there were little odds and ends here and there I've missed. Like, there was one along here somewhere, I thought. That little bit there, but I don't think there's anything major that I've missed. I also keep mistaking these bits of lava here for ore seams because they look sort of slightly too brown and not really orangey enough. But no, I think we're about done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you home. We're going to do a big zoom out. We've got the whole map because I think that'll be kind of cool. And then we'll be done. Oh, maybe the erosion hasn't stopped. It's just gone to the world's slowest erosion rate, which is kind of cute. Right, let's zoom out. Let's see what this does to the frame rate as it tries to load the entirety of the map. Actually, there's no. Oh, it won't zoom out anymore than that. We can't do a whole map. That's as close to the whole map as I can give you, because it won't zoom out anymore. Okay, I guess I'll try to give you a kind of widescreen view. This map's bloody huge. It's more rectangular than I thought, but sheesh. This is a big ass map. It's a fun level. It's really, really cute, and I love this concept of the volcano. That's really nice. I sort of understand why they've put the bits of rock in there, so that it's not just total lava. There's like it's meant to be like, you know, sort of streams of lava that are coming down. So I think that's sort of why they've done that, which is kind of cute. Bloody hell, bloody hell! If you ever wonder what it would be like to fall into a volcano, this is it. It's not fun. Blimey, it's like into the retina of Sauron himself. Right, anyway, never mind any of that rubbish. It's a really fun level. Really, really fun. Not as difficult as I thought it would be, simply because all the monsters were perfectly standard. There weren't that many of them. And because you had to get to this bit,
Collecting 45 energy crystals in those conditions must have been really tough. Well done. We only need another 50 energy crystals and we can go home. Mission
which chronologically puts Hot Stuff after Back to Basics, despite the fact that I think anybody in their right mind would have done Back to Basics second, because it's so much more bloody difficult. Anyway, what do we think the picture looks like? Oh, okay, same as before.
Rocky Horror.
Fine, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, very cool mechanic having the eruption happen and then you having to run away. I really like that they've kind of programmed in these sort of weird events that happen. I think that's very interesting and a fun way to change things up. Oh, excuse me. I didn't even look how many crystals we got. Probably upwards of 450, I'd imagine. But anyway, yeah. The fact that you could kind of get yourself to a place where you were safe from the lava and there weren't really monsters spawning except quite far away sort of meant that you could kind of get yourself under control, and there were enough crystals there that you could get yourself a tunnel transport and all the buildings you needed and get all your men ready, which sort of meant you weren't ever panicking or trying to fight the lava back or sort of spin a lot of different plates at the same time, which is what I thought I'd have to be doing going through Hot Stuff if it had been more like the original campaign version of it. I don't really know which version I prefer. I think they both stand on their own merits very nicely. I think just visually, the kind of the awe factor of seeing the volcano erupt is an incredible thing, and it reminds me of that great big lava. I was going to say lava waterfall. I don't know, just lava fall, I guess you'd call it, in Lake of Fire. It's just very, very awe-inspiring and very cool to behold. But yeah, Hot Stuff should have been its own video. I should have done Air Raiders as its own video. I should have done Hot Stuff as its own video, but I didn't. So I'm sorry for that. I am definitely going to do Back to Basics and Rocky Horror as their own video, because Rocky Horror will probably go on for hours knowing this game. But anyway, next time
Back to Basics.
we'll do Back to Basics, and then the time after that
Rocky Horror.
is up for grabs. But that's all for next time. This time has been lots of fun. I've been really, really impressed by taking two relatively rudimentary levels, in that they didn't have like super unique mechanics like, say, Run the Gauntlet does, or Don't Panic, and to see what the remaster campaign has been able to do with them. I've been genuinely very, very impressed. So I very much enjoy playing both of those. I should have done them on different days, but I didn't. But never mind. I don't have to get up for work tomorrow morning, so that's going to make life easier. It won't matter that it's now 11 o'clock, and I can't even remember when I started this a long time ago. But anyway, we are very nearly at the end of the remaster campaign, which is a bittersweet moment. But that's for later. For now, thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.